Real wisdom. Welcome back to the Faithful Wisdom Warrior Show. Um, what, what all do I want to say to you? Because I've been studying like nonstop, like I can't stop, right? For hours and hours. I think I probably started this. It doesn't even matter when. Just know this that God has had me on the trail for the plan that took down the people. Like where did this plan come from? Who did this? Listening to the tone of what was written from more of a spiritual place, not a place where everybody's inheritedly good. Not that place will we be studying. We won't be studying from everyone's inherently good. No, we won't be doing that. We're going to be studying from a very spiritual aspect, which is really from reality. You get what I'm saying? A lot of times we uh, think only, that everybody means you well, but that ain't reality. You know what I mean? So that's rough to say, but it's true. It ain't true that, I mean, it's true, but what's true is that everyone is not inherently good in reality. Um, so I went back like God had, like I did my normal thing where I come sit down at the table, and at that point God started taking me to, hold on, let me show you. I can't tell you, I gotta show you. I wish I had a like another computer or something to read, so that the book of Enoch could play in the background while we looked at this. But this is where God took me to like basically saying what God was telling me was basically you got to kind of pinpoint when is this going to happen because a lot of people are going to get hurt. And so it was kind of saying you got to go look. So this is what God was telling me. Go listen to the book of Enoch and find out the, like when the moon comes up, when the moon, that kind of thing. Go through the book of the illuminaries and figure out those things. But while I was doing it, remember back when I first painted that painting, I was telling you guys like how do I ever get to the west, because it seemed like there was a place like he was talking like he was being very confusing to which that ain't like God, right? We know that God ain't confusing at all. Everywhere we like God has said something, he said it flat out. Like we didn't have to wonder what he was saying. You get what I'm saying? So ooh, let me calm down. Sorry. I told y'all, even though I do this, I still get the jitters. You know what I mean? I'm delivering God's uh like the interpretation of what like, his message. I'm delivering God's message. So I get nervous. I don't know about you, because I ain't God. You get what I'm saying? But God is God, and I don't want to mess that up. Like I don't want to mess up what he's saying. Because that's what it looked like Enoch did. Real talk. I'm gonna go through it and because it was obvious. It was so many things that Enoch did throughout this book that I and the angels would never do. So many things where you see how I jump and jerk, and it's because if you when you know God, there's certain lines you don't cross. Like you could be a bad little kid all day, but there's certain little things that you don't do. And there was a lot of those in there. And I was like, okay, well, like I got to the place. I got my lollipop. I got to the place where it became serious. Where I was like, you know what? People got to see this. They got to understand where this plan came from, who orchestrated it, why. All of it is right here. Who did it? And which cracked me up because my video last night, God had me ended with who. Y'all remember that? Wow. By the end of it, I'm telling you, when I went and studied this, mixed with this, mixed with this, it was so obvious who. Like, and then for y'all to see God give me that joke last night and then take me to the details of who. So that is just that. I'm saying that in astonishment, right? Don't ever. I literally pray and prayed, right? So before this, I prayed, God, don't ever let me be like Enoch. Don't ever, 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 ever let me be like Enoch. Like, that's some scary stuff. I don't want to be like him. You get what I'm saying? Uh, like, you know, being able to take that step back and allow God to be the most holy, allow God to have the glory because he is the perfection. He is the perfection to righteousness. You know what I mean? If you're the righteous, you and I, humans, can be the righteousness of God, can be. If that's the case, then he's the perfection to our righteousness. You get what I'm saying? So it ain't right without perfect. You get what I'm saying? And he's perfect. And that's the thing that I noticed while studying. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you through it and show you. You see how like those that are insane for God stop and always begin to to worship God. You get what I'm saying? And won't say, do what I said. You get what I'm saying? They won't say that. They're too afraid. Or if let's say you're doing something wrong, or no, let's say you're doing something wrong and you come to me and ask me to help you. As a child of God, I have to try to help you. I know that's one of them lines you don't cross with God. To where I have to help you. Enoch flat out said, "Who am I? I can't help you," several times through another laugh. But it made me go, "You in on this, dude? This was you. This was you." And then I was doing more study to find, like, because they call him an artificer. Uh, that literally means trickster. It also means, if they put an R on the end, like without the R, it means trickster, crafty, cunning one. But with the R, it said in the dictionary that it was a person skilled in, like an inventor. You get what I'm saying? So an inventor was that one. One letter didn't change it for me. If the other letter, if the definition before it was artifice artifice, I can't pronounce this. Artifice. That's the one that's trickster. Put an R on it, and then it means genuine. Hold on, I'll read it here. So without the R, it is skilled or ingenuity, trickery or crafty, a sly or artful trick. So literally, in the book of Enoch, what does it say right there? The first sentence. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on, matter of fact, let me just do it like this. So with that being said, that's where I was going about this channel. This channel, our final word is the dictionary, even above like other books, because God is the word. And that's the reason why words are timeless. Like, and you could think you're making up a word and you won't be. Like, it will mean something. You get what it will actually mean whatever you wanted it to mean. You get what I'm saying? So words matter. They matter. Their definition matter. We cannot change the definition of a word to suit someone else's story. You get what I'm saying? If that word say that was sly trickery, that's sly trickery. That's who that is. You get what I'm saying? Because I often get the feedback or the pushback of there was two Enochs. First off, Enoch, in the book of Enoch, at the end, his name became Metatron. Metaverse. So created the two? You get what I'm saying? Becomes the thing. Like who, that is a duality within itself right there. So, um, and even then he grieved God so many times where he was in trouble. He was in trouble up there, like the angels and God that came against him, and it wasn't a good thing. Well, he got in trouble, not came. Well, I guess came against him is the right word because he got in trouble. You know how if I was to get in trouble or if you was to get in trouble, he got in trouble. Um, so I just want to say, don't get me wrong, because of the fact that all words are true, okay? All words are true, right? This book is the truth mingled with a lie. And now I can explain what that lie is. There was deception, literally. You know, one of the things that God always told us too is the ego of man will always tell the plan. Every single time. The ego of man will always tell the plan, especially in art, right? Or artificer. The things that we create are usually things that we need. You get if we're inventing something, it's something that I need. So with that being said, it really does look like he might have been the equivalent of the in the book, because remember I told you guys, I know y'all are not gonna like me. Y'all are not gonna like me, but that's okay. If you got ears to hear and eyes to see, you'll understand. But I don't like what John did in the book of Revelations. Where he went, that the angel that was leading him said, "Go get." He didn't say, "Go eat that." You get what I'm saying? He said, "Go get that." So we went over there, and the one who was standing on the between the seas, which we know that was the beast. If you know who stands between the seas, if you read Daniel, if you read Revelations 13, you know who he went over to. You get what I'm saying? So at that point, oh hey, okay. People I saw you on, but Aaron's still run. I wonder. Have you checked out Now You See TV? Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe ever watched the Midnight? Oh, yes, I have. I've learned a lot about the Bible, Enoch and giants. Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. I do not ascribe to anyone else's teaching. And that is a big thing of mine. I watch, but I don't ascribe to anyone else's teaching. That's the reason why I've had to isolate myself from friends and family and things, because I hear God talking. And if I am influenced, I won't actually do what God told me to do fearlessly. You get what I'm saying? Like the fact I'm telling you, John might have been bad. Right? You know what I mean? That messes people up. Like, what do you mean, John? John was a good guy. That's John 3:16. John, you to mean he might not? Well, in the book of Maccabees, him and Peter might not have been on the certain person's side. On like they might have been a part of the Judas thing. I don't know. But when you read the book of Maccabees, you kind of see it. And all I can say about Peter is he was crucified upside down in the traditions of the devil by request. That's like me being requesting to be buried next to my daughter. You get what I'm saying? That's the traditions of my world. I want to be buried next to my daughter. So if you're going to ask for the traditions of the devil, that's your final resting place. You asked to be there. Why? What guilt was befalling you that you asked to go to hell? You get what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I say I can't, you know what I mean? And I've seen them, but I always try not to watch, like, because they're really good, by the way, who you're speaking of. But I've seen they're not telling the truth all the way too. Sometimes I'm telling you, I'm sorry, they're just not. I've sat there and watched and went, but it's only because of the spell of anti-Semiticness and the spell of this. Like, there's a place I'm going to read it to you. We're going to stay here for a while, and I'm going to read to you when they talk about the races uh, and how everything happened and who did what, who was the real ones, and it says it clear as day in here. If you go by definitions of words, if you go by a story, you gonna miss it. You gonna miss it. You get what I'm saying? But if anyone reads this thinking about the definitions of words, if it is what it like, that's what he said. So I guess they call me a literalist. I think that's what they call my type, is a literalist. I believe every word it says, but literally, like from the definition of it. So through the definition of it, it can be timeless. Then you get what I'm saying. That's how when it said in I don't know where it said it, but it said the women of Zion. No, the women of Jerusalem, you are haughty, and for instead I'm going to give you, like he was talking about, the eyelashes gonna be bald, and that look, I pray it ain't me, but the eyelashes was gonna be bald, which matches this time frame, right? And don't they got on falsies all day long? That their hair was gonna be bald, that their beauty would become branding. Everyone thinks, because of back then, right? They think branding, you know what I mean? They're going, no, he's timeless. So branding is marketing. Like that's what's popular. Put a mask on your face and call it makeup. You get what I'm saying? Your beauty will be branding. That's what it is. And branding for someone else's plan. If more people don't get honest and say exactly what they see in front of them, you know what I mean? Like, and don't try to make concessions or save face for, I don't care if it's Enoch, I don't care if it's Moses, I don't care if it's Noah. I'm not saving face for none of them. None of them. And don't get me wrong, I don't say it in a bad way. I love them just like God loves me, and I hope they love me that way. But when it comes to him, his word is just. Oh, hold on, my dog's calling me. Let's go together. When it comes to him, his word is just. Hey. Sorry, got my sucker. I ain't got no cigarettes, thank God. But it's rough. But I feel good about it. I feel good. I'm like, ooh, I could actually have a sucker on camera. I could never have a cigarette on camera, but I could have a sucker on camera. Hold on, let me grab these dogs. Y'all getting on my nerves, dog. Where's baby girl? She don't want to come in? You want to stay? Oh, you want to go? Okay. You got to stay down here because I'm doing my video and y'all, for some reason, don't like it. Uh-oh, don't fall up the stairs, dog. No, you staying downstairs. That's why I put y'all outside. Okay, sorry about that. So that's what you're going to get. And I'm not going to lie to you. Like, maybe before I would spare the shocking truths that are so against the norm of today's society. But nope, I read enough where, no, we're going to be held accountable. I've read enough where, like a story like the Bible, having continuity, matching today's age and history, not just the Bible, not the story. No, we're talking about actual events in history. Having that type of continuity, yeah, I'm afraid not to tell the truth. I'm afraid not to tell the truth because that seems to be the moral to the story, is who's gonna tell these big truths. Or literally, he said, I'll show it to you as I read it. I'm just gonna read and try to explain along the way. Yeah, but it seems to be who's gonna tell these big truths and declare the truth of the Lord, like the message, the true message of God, the true nature of God, which is, to give you hope in the future. His nature isn't, that's a beautiful thing though. We actually serve a God whose nature is to do only goodness to you. Isn't that beautiful? That's his nature. But does he? No, because like a good parent, no, sometimes you gotta get your butt whooped. Sometimes you do. But to know you did it because you love me is a way different thing than just because I didn't listen to you. God did it because he loved us. You know what I mean? And it all comes back full circle. Okay. So let me get into it. Let me make sure I'm not missing nothing. Yes, please hit the like button. Oh yeah, and I just started talking. I'm sorry. So yeah, please hit the like button, like, subscribe, share. Uh and let's pray too, so that those that have ears to hear will hear. You get what I'm saying? Let's pray about that. Because this is that type of information that I could see, like, I could see people being ticked off by what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? So, just, but not ticked off because it was even offensive. No, just ticked off because it's something that they believed in for so long. You get what I'm saying? It ain't even offensive. It's just, when you believe, not my brother. Sorry, yeah, your brother. Yeah. Right, not my cousin. Yeah, no, your cousin did it too. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing. So I could see it. I could see it. I could see how cognitive dissonance was set in, and anger and all that kind of stuff, because I'm going to be showing who did it, who done it. And we're going to go through and talk about the nature of God, so that way you can see who done it. You know what I mean? When we first started this channel, it's important just for going forward, right? When we first started this channel, we always told new believers and people used to get mad at me for this and ask me, why do you tell them that? That's not right. I'm going to tell you again. Uh, Read the red words only first. Read the red words from all of them, every red word you could find in the Bible first. That's what you do first. Why? Because then you will see the nature of God. Until you get to that book of John. I'm being honest. But you'll see the writer change. You know how when your love writes you a letter? We talked about this. You can see when it ain't like, that ain't his nature. And I think God did it like that with those 4 gospels on purpose. It's like you hear it 3 times, knowing, even though it's different writers, but the nature is same. They're talking about the same dude. You get what I'm saying? This is the nature is the same. You get to that 4th one, the nature changes. I think that's why he did it that way. I think maybe that's why the red words were red in the first place or something. You know what I mean? But look, listen to that. That shows you how amazing the dictionary is, how amazing God, how undeniable God is, right? The red words must be read. Y'all heard that dictionary? The red words should be read first. That sounds about right. Then go back and read it. Then go back. But especially if you are a seasoned person, do it too. Because you'll think like because you know the story, that you'll be reading and you'll try to insert the black words. Stop yourself from doing that. Like, don't allow that to happen. Literally act like you're a foreigner and take it from the horse's mouth. That's all it was. That's how I happened upon the red words. You know how people be talking about each other in the hood, right? And then next thing you know, you done talked about somebody and didn't mean to. You get what I'm saying? Like, you flat out, somebody told you so-and-so said, and then now you done said what so-and-so said, but so-and-so never said it. And that's in the hood you learn, take that out. You got to go to the source. You don't never tell what somebody else said in the hood. You give it screw what you said. I need to go get it from the source. You get what I'm saying? And that's how I ended up finding the red words, because it was like I was having problems with the deity aspect of Jesus, right? I won't even say Christ, I'll say Jesus. I was having the problems with the deity aspect. And at that point, I could hear God say, how could you not like someone? That was the first time I ever heard God's voice talk directly to me, too. I think I told y'all about this. This was 10 years ago when I used to, yeah, more than 10 years, 12. It was 12 years ago. No, it was more than that. It was 15 years ago, because Livy was born down the street. She just turned 15. So it was 15, and she was in my belly the day this happened. 15 years ago was the first time I heard God's voice loudly. And what he literally said to me was, how can you dislike somebody you ain't never read about? And it was literally like, and that's when he told me, take it to the horse's mouth. Read the red words only, and make your decision after that. And after I did that, I went, whoa, I like this dude. You know what I mean? It was like, I like him a lot. Wow, I like this guy. He's pretty cool here. And then as we got to the end, the Bible started answering my questions before I even asked them. Like I would ask them in my head, be looking for the next red word, like, and then see the answer to the thought, just a thought I had in my head as the next red word. No worries, no worries. I love you. I got the sick. And right, I was just about to say, what is it, like 2 a.m. in Geneva, Jamila? I understand, beautiful. I understand. And it's going to be a long one. I mean, I'm going to try to hurry up. I love having live viewers. That helps me do it, or I might not finish it. You know what I mean? Look, it's 2:19 a.m. You just got off of working all day. No, girl. I understand. And I love you so much for being here. And it's going to be a long one, though, because I need to get over here and start reading and showing these things. I'm about to start showing these things. So that way, because that's what we're talking about right now. Let me remember what I was talking about. Is taking it from the horse's mouth and taking what people say at face value and not trying to change it. And that's what made me like Christ. Like, I was like, I like him. And then I started being able to read the Bible. Or no. Let me back up. Not Christ. I started liking Jesus. The same person, but they're different parts of my journey. Just so you know. Jesus was the deity aspect. Christ is the Christ. That's the fullness of understanding him beyond words where I can't explain to you who he is. You get what I'm saying? So it's just the progression of my journey. And look, I started justifying and I almost lost where I was going. So I implore you to do that, like, just do it for God. Just do it. Because, like, if they say those red words are the words of God, you're getting them out of his mouth. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't add no black words. You ain't allowed to. You get what I'm saying? That's the key, is that you ain't even allowed to add like, you can't even go. You know how I look for everything in context in the black words? In them red words, they just are what they are. You can see the nature. His knee-jerk reactions at people. You can see how he treated the woman at the well. You can see, you get what I'm saying? You can see his loving kindness until you get to that book of John. I ain't got nothing to say about that, but I think that's why God did it that way, was so that you could see the change up. You know what I mean? You could see it. And you could see it here in this book of Enoch too. So let's get started. All right, where did I begin? I began at the book of the luminaries. Okay? And what I saw, this is what I wanted. God told me to come live and tell y'all. Well, actually, to tell Babylon. Like, this is a message to Babylon. You get what I'm saying? To NASA, to all of them, right? It literally says in chapter 75, okay? Let's see, what's the verse on it? Matter of fact, I'll just read it to you. And now when I read this, I want you as a lover of God to see who did that now. And you know what I mean? And then forget why. We're gonna get to why. But the fact that they did it should anger you. That's my God you playing with. You get what I'm saying? So let's read it. Chapter 75, Book of Enoch. And the leaders of the head of the thousand, who are placed over the whole creation and over all the stars, have also to do with the 4 intercalary days. Now let me stop there for 1 second. In 1 year is 364 days. Okay, they've changed it to 365, but there's 364. Why, how do I know that? Because remember what I told you, all the words are true. You get what I'm saying? Regardless of who did a scheme or anything, the words are true. You get what I'm saying? So it's 364 days. And remember how I showed you guys that it was broken up. Let's look at it. Come on, let's be looking at it while I'm telling y'all. Matter of fact, let me go get it. I'll just go get it and put it on this wall. Okay? I'm going to get the painting from the... So God had me paint this exactly the way it seemed to have been done in the book of Enoch some time ago. Okay? Let's go there. All right. So there are 4, like, remember the 12, I think it's 12, wait, is it 12? Yeah, 12 portals of the wind. That is all of these, right? Starting here in the east, okay? So you start in the east, that's the first east, second east, third east, right? Then, now remember I told you guys there seemed to be something tricky going on with this, because the way the book of Enoch reads it made it seem like it was just going straight around. But when he actually didn't try to justify or explain, it let you know that it was going like this. Wait, so from here to here to here, wait, and then wrapped up to here. Wait, no, from here to here. There we go. So it was from this area to this area to this area, then to this area, is the way he actually said it. He took some time in there trying to, and I'll show it to you guys, trying to say to the left, but it doesn't negate what he also said. If he said it, he said it, okay? I'll take you guys to it. Hold on, hope you're with me. All right, so I hope y'all saw that. And the reason why I said that is because I was reading those parts. So there's 4 winds. You see these? This jewel, this jewel, this jewel, and this jewel. Okay, so the cross in the middle. Those are the 4 winds of rewards and blessings, right? The other ones, right, that's the outer ones, are all about different types of desolations, okay? Let me calm down. I'm sorry, y'all, this is deep. So, those 4, wait, where's the cross? Remember, we found out that the cross is the physical idol for the concept of light. So when they crucified Christ, they literally crucified him on top of light. That's why God got these all these different colors. That's why he told me to put them in different colors, because this is literally like the spectrum of light. Okay? So these 4 have a leader, right? They're the intercalary, intercelestiary. Let's read it. I'm just going to read it to you, and you'll know. Now when they talk about those 4, you know you're talking about that cross, those gems around that cross, okay? And the leaders of the heads of the thousands, who are placed over whole of creation and over all the stars, they have to do with the 4 intercalary days, okay? Being inspired from their office. Being inseparable from their office. Okay, so this is the book of Enoch, chapter 25. See, the devil's a liar. Hold on one second. This is the book of Enoch, chapter 75. Okay? And they're literally saying, like, all these groups of people, they're also have to do with the 4 intercalary days. So once you do all the adding up, there was 431 days on the calendar. So, like, most of them are 29, 30, or that kind of thing. But it was 4 of them that had 31 days, and those 4 people, or well, not people, but spirits, they control the seasons. Okay, so listen to that. And the leaders of the heads of the 1,000 who are placed over the whole creation, so that's people all over the stars, have also to do with the 4 intercalary days. So that means there is a connection between the leaders and the seasons, right? Because that's what those 4 intercalary days are, the seasons. Okay, that's important to know. Stay with me, guys. So let me keep reading. To the reckoning. Wait, no. Let me just start over again. I'm sorry. And the leaders of the heads of the 1,000 who are placed over the whole creation and over all the stars have also to do with the 4 intercalary days, being inseparable from their office, according to the reckoning of the year. And these render service on 4 days which are not reckoned in the reckoning of the year. And owing to them, men go wrong therein. For those luminaries, listen to this. This is the part where you should be angry by what I'm saying, given current events. You get what I'm saying? It ain't even about if Enoch is black or white or Ethiopian, or it don't matter if he's a witch or it does not matter what he is. If he's an angel, it doesn't matter what he is. You got to hear what I just said. You get what I'm saying? So this is what I need you to know. According to what's just happened in today's time, watch this. For those luminaries truly, listen to these words, truly render service on the world stations. You hear this? Truly render service on the world stations. One in the first portal, one in the third portal of heaven, and one in the fourth portal, and one in the sixth portal. Listen to this is the next part. And the exactness. That's a very serious word. Listen to that, because we're talking about outer space right now. Y'all do know that they say luminaries. This outer space we're talking about. And the exactness of the year is accomplished through its separate 364 stations. For the signs and the times and the years and dates, the angel Uriel showed to me, whom the Lord of glory hath set forever over all the luminaries of heaven. Okay? So Uriel is over the luminaries of heaven, right? So like, who's the one choosing how the stars, like coordinating the stars right now? Like, because he's their leader, right? So Uriel is over them, okay? Heaven in the world, and they shall rule on the face of the earth. Hold on, I want to there's another place. Hold on, I should have had it highlighted. Wait, I probably do got it wrote down where. Hold on one second, so I want to be able to show you this. Here we go. So if I go forward a couple of pages, right? So that was chapter 75, okay? If I go forward to chapter... 82. 82, okay? The heading for this is that Enoch has been given charge over these intercalary days. Wait a minute ago, Enoch, you just said that Uriel was in charge of them, but let's watch. And now, my son Methuselah, all these things I am recounting to thee and writing down for thee, I have revealed to thee everything, given thee book concerning all these. So preserve, my son, the book from thy father's hand, and see that thou delivers them to the generations of the world. I have given wisdom to thee and thy children. Now, you do hear. Now, I'm just letting you know from a person who is afraid of God, he messing up already. I know you're like, huh? How is he messing up? It's just the father giving his son information. Listen to it. This is information about the world, about God. Why ain't he saying anything about God at this point? It's like, I said this. I told you that. Make sure you know I told them this. That is a very scary thing I'm just letting you know. Like, if you believe I really do talk to God, I'm letting you know. Don't nobody in their right mind talk the way, like, y'all see how much privilege I have with God. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know a few of y'all like, did she just come? But there are certain things I don't do. And that this right here it's he do it a lot, but it's one of them. So he said, and just so you will know, it is set up with that. Hold on. It won't let me get it. Oh, dag. It is set up as if God is saying it. Right here, you see how they pull it apart? Hold on. Right here. You see how that's pulled apart from everything else? You get what I'm saying? But not once. Now, you know that's what they do in the Bible. When God is saying it, they turn things into indentations and things like that. Not once does he say, like God said. It seems as if while I'm listening to this, it seems like he's doing exactly what I told y'all don't ever do. You get what I'm saying? Like, you come into my house, you don't even acknowledge my father, and you're literally trying to glean information from me. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I saw here. But let's keep reading it though, so you can make your own decision. Okay. My son Methuselah, the books from thy father's hand, and see that thou deliver them to the generations of the world. I have given wisdom to thee and to thy children, and thy children that shall be to thee, that they may give it to their children for generations. This wisdom, namely, that passeth their thought. And those who understand it shall not sleep, but shall listen with the ear that they may hear this wisdom. And it shall pass those that eat thereof better than good food. Blessed are all the righteous. This is real. This is true. So don't think I'm telling you the book of Enoch is not true, but I'm telling you it ain't righteous sometimes. Sometimes it is self-righteous. And I know the difference in the voice of my Father. You get what I'm saying? So watch this. Blessed are all the righteous. Blessed are all those who walk in the way of righteousness and sin not. That's good, right? As the sinners, in the reckoning of all their days in which the sun traverses the heaven, entering into and departing from the portals for 30 days with the heads of thousands of order of the stars, together with the four which are intercalculated, which divide the four portions of the year. I told you those are the seasons, which lead them and enter with them 4 days. Owing to them, man shall be at fault. owing to them, man shall be at fault, not reckoning them in the whole reckoning for the year. Yea, men shall be at fault and not recognize them accurately. For they belong to the reckoning of the year and are truly recorded forever. One in the first portal, one in the third portal, one in the fourth portal, and one in the sixth portal. And the year is completed in 364 days. Here's the first thing, what I said, be angry. Like that, or better yet, not, I won't say be angry, right? Well, anger yet sin not. They just literally made us applaud them breaking, like with the Didymus thing. He literally said they have to move. They have a station. They truly shall not transgress their station. You get what I'm saying? Now, considering we're here in this time and day, it's kind of like, we will think so theoretically that we won't recognize NASA literally just broke literally, guess how many minutes they said many minutes or something like that off of its track Didymus is now 23. Isn't that interesting? It's 23 minutes off of its track, or degrees or something like that, 23 degrees or something like that. So they literally just did the thing that they ought not do, and we all sit quietly. Like, and I have to admit, being a new person, and I'm sorry I can say this, or I'm saying it, and I pray God don't get mad at me, but being a new person, please God don't get mad at me, being a new person to this whole Apocrypha Bible, like letting other people in on my spirituality world, like wanting to be collective with people on spirituality. We've been standing up for a lot of books we ain't been reading. I'm just saying, it's the truth. We've been standing up hard for a lot of books that we ain't been reading. Okay, so let me pray. I gotta pray. Let me pray. I'm sorry, I didn't do that earlier either. It's just so much, right? It's so much, and it's just so much. So let us pray. Please forgive me. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for the opportunity to just have you, like, to be able to study your word, to be able to find out the secrets of the universe, to be able to understand where we went wrong. I thank you for that. I'm so grateful, Father. I'm so grateful of your simplicity. Oh, hallelujah. I love how you don't make things confusing for us. If we will just look at it flat out for what it is, you don't make it confusing. And we love you so much for that, Father. We love you. So I'm asking, not being nothing compared to you, I'm just asking for a little bit of helping me make it simple for them. I saw where it got very complicated, and where I heard you when you said, does that really sound like me? Because I don't make it that complicated. You're right, Father. So I'm asking you to open their minds so that they can see the simplest version of truth. And also let me know what to say and what not to say. Because I don't want to confound the word. Like, I don't want to confuse them. I want them to see, hear. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Hallelujah. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that. I love you so much, and we appreciate you. Please forgive me. There's people watching. It's just usually me and you. But please keep me bound to your word, Father. Keep me held on to it. And in the process, open their eyes so that they can see good and who means them harm. How to see the facts as facts. That's what he said. That's what he did. And if he did it, he did it. Help them take that information in a manner like bind up offense. Like don't allow them to be offended is my ask. And I'm just asking that because man sometimes come after you. So please, Father, don't let them be offended. Let them be real, true fan people. And let only those that got ears even be able to understand. Real talk, Father. If they got ears, let them understand. If they don't got no ears, then let them just think I'm babbling. I appreciate you so much, Father, for covering me. Thank you so much in the mighty name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Please forgive me. I don't know how to pray like y'all pray. I talk with God. So forgive me. I get a little self-conscious about that, but I do need to pray about this word because that's what I need y'all to understand. You gotta be able to see if they did it, regardless on if they mean it or not. They did it. You get what I'm saying? Regardless on a lot of different things, they did it. Okay. So with that being said, it's hard for me too, and I haven't smoked. Like I'm hanging in there. So stay with me. Uh, so let's go to. I'm still in the. Oh no. So let me tell y'all the story too, so y'all can understand how I got here. So at that point, I went and read all of the. So when I mean, like from that point, I was like, whoa, they flat out said that's what they were going to do. Like we're in the future. They did break the Illuminate. This is the first time in history they ever tried to throw something off its course. So that means that's what this man said they was going to do. He know. So therefore, yep, I can say, yep, that's what happened. You get what I'm saying? So let's go back to it. In the when I was because I was reading along with a YouTube guy. While once he got done reading, or not even got done reading. Remember what I told y'all the devil did to my video last night? I'm gonna put the video I was watching when I was listening to this, because I was just following along so that way I could hear and understand what he was saying. Um, uh, y'all gotta forgive me. Y'all gotta forgive me. It skipped just like it did with my video, where all of a sudden he was reading to me one thing, then it skipped and went back to this other thing. So I gotta skip and go back to it so you guys can understand. Let me put this down. So you can understand what happened and when it happened, because it showed that like it was almost a supernatural way of saying you're looking at this, but what you really gotta go look at is this. There we go. All right, so let's go look at it. I got them all like with highlights. There it is. The book of Enoch is hard to follow too, because like it has verses and stuff in it, but I sometimes write them down wrong, flat out. I hate that. Okay, there it goes. Hold on, I think that's it. And now I know this mystery that sinners will alter and pervert the words. Yeah, hold on, this is it. Fire, yes, this is where it talks about the fire. Okay, so remember, God literally told me to sit down, understand this, so I'll know when the fire is coming. I want y'all to know the fire might be coming here. The fire from the devil's people. It might be the 12th month, but it also might be because in the book of Enoch, he says fire, desolation, everything comes from the western portal closest to the south, And it also comes from the first eastern portal. So it looks like that Metatron metaverse kind of thing where they're gonna try to do uh, something in the hold on, let's so you can see my like this is when the Illuminati should do their bad thing, but God's gonna do his bad thing, which would be in this month, the first month. Y'all see what I'm saying? So the bad thing from the Illuminati type situation might come from here. I'm about to try to read it to y'all. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to stay with me. I want to try to just tell y'all, but I feel it necessary. Like I could just tell y'all all this. Maybe I should just tell you all this. I don't know. But I feel it necessary to prove it to you, to show it to you, so that that way you can't say I just said this to you, that it's sitting right here in front of you. Okay, so here we go. In those days. Okay, here we go. So chapter 102. There's 3 books of Enoch. I want to make sure I'm on the first one. Okay, I think it's the first edition. Like in this one little book, there's 3 books of Enoch. Okay, so I believe it's in the, go for the 102nd chapter of the, I believe the first book. I'm not sure. You see how it's set up. I think it's the first book of Enoch, 102nd chapter. In those days, when he hath brought a grievous fire upon you, whither will ye flee, and where will ye find deliverance? And when he launches forth his word with the capital W, right? His word against you, will you not be affrighted and fear? Okay? So here's the thing. What's coming for us? It's important to know. Fire. I'm going to show you that in the Bible. So we just did that in the book of Enoch, where fire is going to be unleashed, right? Now we're going to go here. It was Jeremiah chapter 32. That's what we read last night, okay? Now I'm gonna, since we read it last night, I'm not reading the whole thing. I'm just gonna scan through. I gotta do a better job of writing. But I did pull out my highlighter, so I'll just mark up these books. So if I, that ADHD gets me sometimes. Where is it? So, hold on one second, stay with me. Given the land of which I was for your fathers, possess it. Now, there's somewhere, oh here, let me just tell it to you out loud before I lose it in my own mind. There's somewhere in chapter 32 of the book of Jeremiah where he literally says they're going to use the houses to burn down this city. That's literally what it says. Here we go. Verse 29 of chapter 32. And the Chaldeans who fight against this city shall come and set fire to this city and burn it with the houses on whose roofs they have offered incense to Baal and poured out drink offerings to other gods to provoke my anger. Oh, that's another thing. God said, for anybody this is important for y'all to know, how people be pouring out drinks to their dead homies? That literally is a sanctioning of the death of their homie. That ain't good. Don't be pouring out no drink offerings. Like literally a lot of the things in our culture that we think is okay, that's been given to us by someone else, just trying to blurt out information instead of actually giving you the words. You get what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff is rituals. You get what I'm saying? So that's important to know. But it does say right there what's coming. So first off, I hope y'all are with me in understanding where I'm going with this. They're gonna go awry because of what? Changing the course of the luminaries. Did they do that? In our time frame, in our lives, is that a reality for us? Yes, they did, right? That they're going, when they take siege, when they pick up siege against us, They're literally going to burn down the city with the houses. It says, I know we always want to go, no, they mean with the house, like, and the houses. No, it says with. Why does it say they're going to burn down the city with? That's what a literalist does. That's what they say it. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not going to take modern thoughts and go, no, they meant, no, I got to go flat out with what they said, because other people don't know cultural norms to think that's what they meant. You get what I'm saying? That's how God showed me when he says something, he mean it flat, like he said, take it flat out. You get what I'm saying? So here we go. That's the next one. I've read to you several times where they said that fire was coming for the sinners. Okay. Now, when I should just sit here and read to y'all and but there's a place, I gotta find it again. Okay. I think this is it. I put some parentheses in front of it, so let me read it and find out. I want to go above it just to make sure. But not godless in their heart. Wait, no, let's go above it a little bit. I'll read to you so that way I'm not reading in my head. I'm going to go back to verse 7. But keep afar from their... No, I got to go back. I'm just going to read this whole paragraph. Here we go. I swear unto you that in heaven the angels remember you for good before the glory of the Great One, and your names are written before the glory of the Great One. Be hopeful, for aforetime ye were put to shame through ill and affliction, but now ye shall shine as lights of the heaven. Ye shall shine, and ye shall be seen, and the portals of the heaven shall be opened to you, and your cry, and in your cry for judgment, and it shall appear to you, for all your tribulation shall be visited on the rulers and on all who helped those who plundered you. Be hopeful and cast not away your hope, for ye shall have great joy as the angels of heaven. What shall ye be obliged to do? Ye shall not have to hide on the day of the great judgment, and ye shall not be found as sinners. Y'all heard this. These are flat out words. Now I'm your girl that's coming to you, telling you literally they've lied to us about a lot of stuff. They flat out told, made it to where we won't know the day of God's, like the day of, like, it says abominable, the abominable day. You get what I'm saying? Hit the day of God's wrath, okay? So literally they said we won't know the day of God's wrath, right? So that means somebody's creeping in. And if you don't know this Bible, you won't know when to run out to the booths. You get what I'm saying? So that's what he says here. The day of great judgment, and ye shall not be found as sinners. Right? So a lot of people, because of our mental, cultural things, will say, won't be found as sinners. Like, no, I won't be found out as, I won't be like the sinners. But we're in the future, guys. We're in the future. A siege, it says it everywhere. In the land, the latter days, a siege is coming. And they're going to err and folly. But it literally says here, if you don't err and follow, you won't be found as the sinners. You give them some. So that means y'all do understand it. I don't have to even go any further, because if you got ears to hear, I don't know the past. How about that? Or I'm a foreigner. Like, you got to think like that to know that God says what he means. It all comes full circle. You get what I'm saying? Will not be found as sinners, and the eternal judgment shall be far from you. Look, that's so flat out there too. So if we look at it as like, I won't be seen as a sinner, but if I look at it as found, that means I'm going somewhere else and not where the plan led. Like their plan was trying to take me somewhere, but God said go that way. You get what I'm saying? The judgment shall be found from you for all the generations, that the judgment shall be far from you for all the generations of the world. And now fear not, ye righteous, when ye see the sinners growing strong and prospering in their ways, be not companions with them, but keep afar from their violence, for ye shall become companions of the host of heaven. Y'all heard that? Stay far away from them, because if you don't, you shall become companions of the host of heaven. Real talk. So, but in both ways, like the Lord of hosts, if you literally keep away from them, but if you don't, it literally says here, I'm about to take y'all. It's about to talk about race, right? I hate doing that, but God told me I have to. Let's get to it. Where is it? Because, and not race. I'm gonna species, not race. Mm-mm, mm-mm. This is talking about species, because it literally says that where the angel mingled, who he mingled with, all that. Hold on, let me just find it. I'm gonna read that whole thing to y'all too, because this is where the man jumped backwards to where I was like, what is this? But now I can't seem to. I was about to say, now I can't seem to find it, but I think I just found it. Oh, wow. Okay, I might end up one day reading this whole thing to y'all, but here we go. Let's go with chapter 85, okay? Because there's so much I need to read that too, but I'm trying to conserve time, and at the end, maybe I'll just stay here with whoever got questions and, go over it more detail. But let's get through so y'all can really see where I'm going, because it's so deep, it's even hard for me to really explain, okay? Now, here we go. We gotta think flat out. Like, let's act like when it comes to something being named, act like you don't know, that could be anything. You get what I'm saying? But if it goes to something being described, take it at face value. Whatever it described is what it is. You get what I'm saying? It's like almost thinking, like, this is how, like, I would hope this is how a lawyer thinks. You get what I'm saying? Where I'm taking or a judge, I'm taking at face value what you said, and I'm not reading into any other parts of it. Even it's like how you see the plan. Like if somebody came in, like George did this and George said that and they did this and they did that. Now you got to go, okay, who did it? George did it. You got to go, what did George look like? He would look like this. You get what I'm saying? It's not on the account of if George was a monkey. You get what I'm saying? That's not what it's about. It's about the facts, because we don't know what George is. We know this, and this. You get what I'm saying? So let's watch this. Y'all ready? And after this, I saw another dream, and I will show the whole dream to thee, my son. And Enoch lifted up his voice and spake to his son Methuselah, to thee, my son, will I speak. Hear my words, incline thy heart to the dream vision of thy father. Before I took thy mother Etna, I saw a vision on the bed, and behold, a bull. Remember I told y'all God had me? I did not read this verse. Y'all know that. There was watch, look at this. I'm gonna show y'all this. Just I'm not trying to appease myself. No, I'm trying to let y'all know it's real. So don't think about me. Don't think about this dummy. Think about God was talking to a dummy. Why is there bull on there? Why is there bull on there? I don't know. Right? I didn't know. And remember, I don't draw the only one I actually drew without following the patterns in the wood is this one. All those were drawn from following the patterns in the wood. Even that one where the Antichrist dude, that's it, the big O is like an imprint inside of the wood. So know this, That's what that was when I got my hands on the wood. It was literally, you see the smoothness versus the rippledness on the outer edge. This was already in there when I got the wood. Okay? So I want y'all to know, I want y'all to know this ain't no claiming talent for me or nothing. So here we go, let's keep going. Behold, a bull came forth from the earth, and that bull was white. And after it came forth a heifer, and along with this latter came forth two bulls, one of them black and the other red. And that black bull gored the red one and pursued him over the earth. And thereupon I could no longer see the red bull, but that black bull grew, and that heifer went with him. So the black bull grew, and the heifer went with him, right? So remember, there was a white bull, right? Well, I don't know what a bull is. You get what I'm saying? It was white, there was black. There was white that got a heifer, right? So it says there was a white bull that had a heifer, right? And along with his latter came forth two bulls, one of them black and the other one red, okay? And that black bull gored the red one and pursued him over the earth. And thereupon I could no longer see that red bull, but that black bull grew, and that heifer went with him. And I saw that many oxen proceeded from them, which resembled and followed him. So right now, everybody following the black bull. Follow him. And that cow, that first one, that first heifer, went from the presence of the first bull. So it's almost like that big bull, that white bull, lost his heifer, right? This is what happened. I'm telling you, that's what it says, okay? I'm just saying what it says, okay? So that white bull lost his heifer because the heifer went looking after the red bull. You get what I'm saying? All right, so here we go. Let's keep reading. And that cow, that first one went from the presence of the first bull in order to seek that red one, but found him not, and laminated with a great lamination over him, and sought him. And I looked till the first bull came to her and quieted her. Y'all do understand what I'm talking about. Y'all know what a heifer is, but y'all know in a timeless world what a heifer is too. And it seems like there's a white bull coming to some type of heifer. You know, they didn't give the heifer a color. But there's a white bull going to a heifer to quiet her. And from that time onward, she cried no more. And after that, she bore another white bull. And after him, she bore many bulls and black cows. And I saw in my sleep that white bull likewise grow and become a great white bull. And from him proceed many white bulls. And they resembled him. And they began to beget many white bulls, which resembled them, one following the other, even many. Now, remember I told y'all a few times where I didn't want to say, race. This clarified for me why it was important to say race. We're going to go on and see, because you're going to see someone came down and hid amongst someone else. Let's keep going. I'm just going to keep reading this whole thing to make sure y'all can understand. I don't want to jump around too much. Okay, let's keep going. So this is chapter 86. And again, I saw with mine eyes as I slept, And I saw the heaven above, and behold, a star fell from heaven, and it rose and eat and pastured. So take this stuff literally, okay? And again, a star fell from the heaven. So picture, star fell from heaven. And it arose. It done woke up, right? And it ate and it pastured among the oxen. So amongst the leaders of men, there's a star that fell, but it's going to say it more flat out in a minute. And after that, I saw the large and the black oxen, and behold, the black oxen, guess what they did? Behold, they all changed their stalls and pastures. Why are they saying this? Like, if they don't know, the ego of man definitely told the plan. It just looked like he gave a parable for the plan. You got to think like a person whose life is in danger if you don't understand what they're saying. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't think inherently good and think don't you know they say keep this sealed up until the time of the end is what they say in the book of Daniel, right? So keep that sealed up until the time of the end. If you don't know that you're in the end, you can't see what's going on. I get it. You get what I'm saying? So here we go. Because now, like when you know you're in the time of the end and judgment is upon you, what do you think? Who done it? Who did what? Where did it happen at? Because you're trying to save your life. Let's be real. But it's going to show it later on. A lot of people use the concept of, it says it in there, the downfall is they use the concept of Christ to act like it ain't have nothing to do except for belief. You get what I'm saying? It says it in here. That's the crazy part. This is the book of Enoch. This is pre-Moses. Ain't this pre-Moses? Yeah, it's pre-Moses. Because Enoch and Noah, that was in Genesis. That was the Genesis 6 life. You get what I'm saying? So for them to be telling what has actually happened, that we saw it happen. We saw this happen. I'm telling you, I saw it with my own eyes. Thank God 42 ain't too young I know who my people used to be. And I know how they changed. So I get it. But don't worry, this ain't talking about people. That's for those that don't have ears. Okay, I saw the large and the black oxen, and behold, they all changed their stalls and pastures and their cattle and began to live with each other. And again, I saw in the vision and looked toward the heavens, and behold, I saw many stars descend and cast them down from heaven to that first star, that first bull. Y'all got to hear this. And they became bulls from that first star. It's going to say it flat out later. But to that first star, and they became bulls amongst those cattle and pastured with them amongst them. And I looked at them and saw, behold, they all let out their privy members like horses and began to cover the cows of the oxen, and they all became pregnant. Flat out. This is making sense. And bare elephants and camels and asses, and all the oxen feared them and were frightened at them and began to bite with their teeth and to devour and to gore with their horns. Now, let's back up. We're going to go back to the point where it was a white bull, and then who had a heifer. And then in the latter days, because that's what it said, in its latter time, there became a black bull and a red bull, right? What do we know about red bulls? I'm a red bull. I'd be a red bull, wouldn't I? Wouldn't I be a red bull? What do we know about red bulls? Or better yet, what did Jamila tell us about Denmark. Like she's over in that neighborhood. She said there's a lot of red folk over there, black folk, but they red and they hair like mine. Interesting. They're Jewish, blackish. It's true. It's true. I am one of these people that you speak of. So, okay, I'll take that at face value. I want you to know that's what I mean about taking it at face value. That's when you ain't like if it matches you and you're not don't look like you're the good guy in the story. You get what I'm saying? You still got to tell the story. You can't change the story to make yourself look like a good guy. You get what I'm saying? So here we go. Let's keep going. Oh, no, no. So the heifer got mad because the black bull gored the red bull, right? But it's saying here about why they got gored because there was a angel that came down, a white bull, right? That came down, intermingled, and created this other type of bull that made everybody go, "What is this new thing?" And they got scared. Okay. And they began, moreover, to devour those oxen. And behold, all the children of the earth began to tremble and quake before them and to flee from them. Okay? That would make sense too, wouldn't it? Like, when you know, I just want to give you history. You know what happened in South Africa and Australia and Ethiopia, specifically Ethiopia. That's a big one. Remember when we were little and they showed us all the pictures of the little black children in Ethiopia? They were black kids. Remember, even Trevor Noah made a joke about it, talking about how they had flies on their eyes, and Trevor Noah was like, "Yeah, they making it look so bad. They could at least do this." But you remember that. I remember it too. Those were black kids. Type in Ethiopian now. They look like me. Real talk. Like, but with black hair. You get what I'm saying? They don't look, well, not like me, not this light yet, but they ain't the black people that we used to see when we was little. You get what I'm saying? So somebody's becoming a little issues. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of little issues running around. Little issues. I'm a little ish, so I get it. All right. And like I said, I'm taking that face value. They're talking about camels and asses and elephants and all that other stuff. But as a person who takes it at first value, I see white, I see black, I see a heifer, I see they got together, had some babies, and now you got some different heifers or some different things going on. So let's keep going because it's gonna say all this more flat out in a minute. All right, so they began to flee from them. And again, I saw how they began to gore each other and to devour each other, and the earth began to cry aloud. And I raised my eyes again to heaven, and I saw in the vision, and behold, there came forth from heaven beings who were like white men. Remember what I told y'all? And I tell y'all by the end of this, somebody gonna have to admit that they ain't human. Now they ain't white men, no, but they look like them. You get what I'm saying? Or fallen angels. I don't, maybe fallen angels are vampires. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. But there came forth from heaven beings who were like white men, and four went forth from that place, and 3 with them. 7. Okay? And I don't know. I'm taking it at face value, but it says 4 plus 3. Right? So how many went? 7. Got it. And those 3 that had last come forth, the last 3 of the 7, grabbed me by the hand and took me up away from the generations of the earth and raised me up to a lofty place. and showed me, I'm sorry, I just feel God saying this is the moment when he took the deal, but let's keep reading. And showed me a tower raised high. This is like, it feels like he just got the deal. You get what I'm saying? Don't you know how when Jesus was given a deal, Jesus was like he took him someplace and the devil was like, here, you can have this, and he was like, no, I won't bow down and do nothing. No, I won't worship you. You get what I'm saying? That's what's coming to my mind right now. A tower raised above the earth, and all the hills were lower. And one said unto me, remain here till thou seest everything that befalls those elephants, camels, and asses, and the stars, and the oxen, and all of them. Okay? Now we're at chapter 88. And I just saw a dramatic drop in viewership. I hope y'all can still hear me. But oh, I understand. It's deep. If you already could hear me, I get it. It's deep. But it's something you gotta pay attention to if you're gonna know how to escape the abominable day. Real talk. And you're gonna see it ain't about white people. You're gonna see, it's about to say it in a minute. It ain't about white people. It's about these things that came down and hid amongst white people. That's what happened. It's the truth. It's gonna say it flat out too. Cause at first I ain't gonna lie, I was with you too, like, oh, the white man did it. I ain't gonna lie, I was sitting there going, white man did it. But as you read, you find out, no, the white man has somebody amongst him that did it. Okay, and I saw one of these four who had come forth first, and he seized that first star. Oh, no, I reread that. No, I didn't. And he sees that first star. Wait, and I saw one of those four who had come forth first, right? So remember, it was four that went first, then three came behind him. The three grabbed him and said, go here. But he saw the one from here, that's where we're at right now. And as I was beholding in the, wait. And I saw the one of those four who had come forth first, he seized that first star which had fallen from heaven and bound it hand and foot and cast it in the abyss. Now that abyss was narrow and deep, horrible and dark. And one of them drew a sword and gave it to those elephants. Listen to this. One of them drew a sword and gave it to the elephants. So as one of them that was being thrown into the abyss, being locked away until the time of the end, right? He then says, here's a sword. Now the movie Supernatural makes sense with their trusty revolver and their angel swords, their angel blades. So that means that literally he drew a sword and he gave it to the elephants, camels, and asses, right? Then they began to smite each other, and the whole earth quaked because of them. Now, here's something else I'm hearing too. And one of them drew a sword and gave it to, y'all remember, now mind you, remember, it feels like we're jumping around, but we're not. If you've been here, you know what I'm talking about. Family crest of the, hold on, I can't, I'm not gonna say this one out loud. Royal which I think the second one on this big writing is who hid amongst the people. I really do. Okay, there's a lot that shows that he was. So this one, family crest, and this one's family crest are the same. Only one difference. Only one difference. In the other one, the unicorn had a chain around her neck, and she was bound to the ground. In this one, we know, if you go look at family crests, you know who like each animal represents a person, so you know who the unicorn was, right? and was bound by the neck to the ground. Who bound her? Was it Great Britain? Nope. God himself. God himself sold his people. That's what it said. Right? So they didn't bind her up. You know, that's something people need to know. Great Britain didn't put the people in slavery. God himself did. He says it 1,000 times. He literally says you wouldn't be what you are unless I sold you. That's what he says. Real talk. So go look at the so that way you'll know I'm not lying to you. Go look at the family crest of this family. Look at the components of it. Find out who that unicorn was. There was somebody that was the unicorn, and she was like me. Real talk, it's true. It's okay, no worries. Look, no, everybody's been coming here saying they can't stay. That's okay, because I know what I'm giving right now is deep. I know, so I understand. But I hope you come back to us, watch it again later. It's understandable, you know. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. So if you look at that family crest, she was bound. You look at this family crest, she ain't no longer bound. Interesting. Y'all see the continuity between history and these books and at what actually happened in the world? I got chills. I got chills on that one. So God always told me we were supposed to be in slavery way longer than we were in slavery. Like they literally unbound us before time. They weren't supposed to. I know that's hard to say. I know a lot of people probably like, what? You just said you wasn't supposed to be free yet. Not until the 400 years was over. You get what I'm saying? And that's what it says, like one of those angels from the abyss, one of those fallen angels, as he was being thrown into the abyss, gave the asses and the elephants and the ones that were made of this mixing, you know what I mean? He gave them a sword. And what do we know historically about slavery? Who freed us, really? Who did they make sure they let us know really freed us? If you're black, you know, right? If you know who the boo, is, you know. A few people with a sword. That ain't right. That ain't right. God gonna get them for that. Real talk. Y'all know the concept of that house. Yeah, I've been beat up for being light skinned my whole life. Real talk. So I want y'all to know that. That is a real thing. I get racism on both sides. Real talk. But I gotta admit, in this case, not knowing that Bible and doing the things that they did, that was disobedient. They weren't supposed to. That Creole concept, they weren't supposed to. They messed up. Real talk. They helped. And remember I told you guys that. I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. I'm going by because my God is who I serve. I don't serve nobody, no man, okay? I serve God and God alone. So I want his will to come about before I want man's will to come about. You get what I'm saying? And I always have been one of those people that I love, like, that's part of being black. Part of being black is like, man, if I was in slavery, I would have ran away. I would have done this. Man, please. That's all I ever used to say. But once I know this Bible, I would have sat still. If I knew this Bible back when I was saying this, I never would have said it. Real talk. If I knew this Bible back when I was saying this, I never would have said it. I never would have tried. Never would have said, I was running. No. But I get why God said, seal it up to the time of the end. Because how many times have I read this book? And a lot of these things none of us ever saw until now. Now it makes sense. It didn't make sense before. Now it does. Okay, so let's keep going because there's more where it says flat out, like, so that way you don't think it's that, you know what I mean? So you don't because he's going to say that in there. He's going to say how white people felt about what happened. You know what I mean? So don't want you to think it's just white people. No, there's someone that came down and hid amongst them. That's what it says flat out in the book of Enoch, okay? All right, several different ways, by the way. So right now I just talked about the bulls. It's going to change it. First it went from the bulls, then it went to uh, the elephants, and now we're about to go to like other ones. So watch this. And I saw one of the four who had come forth first. He sees that one. Oh, I already read this, but I'm gonna keep going. First star. He sees that first star which had fallen from the heaven and bound it hand and foot and cast it into the abyss. Now that abyss was narrow and deep and horrible and dark. And one of them drew a sword and gave it to the elephants and the camels and the asses. Then they began to smite each other. You get what I'm saying? So they became the concept of black on black crime, maybe. I don't know. You know, they didn't say color there. They said elephants, asses, and something else. But the concept of on one crime is right there. Y'all get what I'm saying? And as I was beholding in the vision, lo, one of those four who had come forth stoned them from heaven, and gathered and took all the great stars whose privy members, members were like horses. So they said they had big jungles. Oh, this is horrible. And bound them all hand and foot and cast them in the abyss of the earth. Okay. And one of those four who went to that white bull, and one of the four who went to that white bull and instructed him in a secret. Remember, who was the four? The interstellar days. The angels was one of the four. You get what I'm saying? But one of those four, probably the one that threw a sword up, went to the white bull and instructed him in secret. So they got a secret. The white bull and one of them angels got a secret. Without his being terrified. Now, know without his being terrified means he was in on it. Without him being terrified means he was in on it. Why wouldn't you be? Oh, so he's strong enough not to make them scared of God? Because he should be scared of God right now, because he just did a secret deal with a daggone angel. You get what I'm saying? So for him not to be terrified, that means he was in on it. Because if you know God, God said don't do it, why ain't you scared? You get what I'm saying? Wait, dude. So know this, he was in on it. He was born, shows he was in on it. Watch this. And one of those four went to the white bull and instructed him in its secret without his being terrified. He was born a bull and became a man, and built for himself a great vessel and dwelt therein. And three bulls dwelt with him. It's going to blow your mind when we get there. In that vessel. Y'all do know what we're talking about. See, because the top of this has a heading of the deluge. Right? This literally says the deluge and the deliverance of Noah. Right? So them having that heading there will make you go, wow, this is about Noah? Oh, Noah's good, right? Who went in Noah? They said he was super good, right? But who went in that ark with him? It was Noah and three others. His three sons, right? So that if not Noah, his grandfather was in on it. Oh, guess who his grandfather is? Y'all get it now? It says it everywhere. He's literally the father of idolatry. Look up his name. But everybody wants to go, There was two of them. It wasn't just one Enoch. I know one of them was the father of idolatry, magic, and sorcery. And it says, let me read it again so we could take it at face value. And one of those four went to that white bull. So one of those four fallen angels went to that white bull and instructed him in secrets. In secret. What was the, like y'all saw the thumbnail for this, it literally says Enoch's secret, right? That's literally what it says. Hold on, let me find that chapter. I mean, you know what I mean, the heading of the book, so I could actually just, you know, like everybody will finally see our God is not dumb. He kept the book of Enoch out on purpose because Enoch ain't on his team. I'm just taking that face value, right? And one of those four went to that white bull and instructed him in secret without him being terrified. That makes me, like, you know, it was like, oh. He was born a bull and became a man and built for himself a great vessel and dwelled therein. And 3 bulls dwelt with him in that vessel, and they were covered in. So it's an ark, basically. Covered in. So it's a vessel that was covered in. And again, I raised my eyes toward heaven and saw a lofty roof with 7 water torrents therein, and those torrents flowed with much water into an enclosure. And I saw again, and behold, fountains were opened on the surface of that great enclosure. And that water began to swell and rise upon the surface. This is the deluge. This is Noah. That's who it is. They just didn't say his name. But that's who it is. And I saw, and remember what I told y'all. I'm the first one that told y'all that Noah was a Nephilim. Oh, y'all mad at me now. It's true. God said the years of a human is 120 years. You ever wonder why there was so many years and it always dwindles down until it gets to the beautiful Moses? Moses was the first human mentioned in the Bible. This proves it. Let's keep going. I've said it and people just look at me like, that means Jacob and Isaac and all of them were, sorry. All of our ancestors are, they just said it. None of us are of pure blood until that age got down. God got them off the earth, but he had to let that age get down. You get what I'm saying? That's why each time you see they start off, they were 900 years old. Methuselah was like 900 and something years old. Then we get to the next one, 500 years old. Get to the next one, 400 years old. Get to like it's literally a countdown to humanity. Go look it up. It's the truth. Like, just read your Bible and don't skip over how old these people were. And I'm telling you, the first human was Moses. Abide the standards of what God said. A human's years will be but 120. I shall not contend with man for eternity, is what he said in Genesis 6. Right? Not in the book of, it says it somewhere in here too. But I would not contend with man for an eternity, for his days shall be numbered. It shall be but 120 years old. Okay? That's the first one. So let's keep going. He was born a bull and became a man. And he built for himself a great vessel and dwelt therein. There 3 bulls dwelled with him in the vessel, and they were covered in. And again, I raised my eyes towards the heaven and saw a lofty roof with 7 window torrents therein. Those torrents flowed with much water onto an enclosure. So they safe because they was in an enclosure. And I saw again, and behold, fountains were opened. And the surface of that great enclosure, that water began to swell and rise upon the surface. And I saw that enclosure till all its surface was covered with water. That water had risen above the height of that enclosure, and was streaming over that enclosure, and it stood upon the earth. And all the cattle of that enclosure were gathered together unto I saw how they sink and were swallowed up and perished in the water. But that vessel floated on the water. That vessel, that great vessel, floated on the water, while all the oxen and elephants and camels and asses sank to the bottom with all the animals. Now that part when it says the Nephilim were in the land after the deluge makes sense. Everything else died. Keep going. I'm going to keep reading. Everything else died, but there's 4 individuals that are safe. Let's keep reading. I'm sorry, it's flat out. No, it's flat out though. And it just matches. And all the cattle that was enclosed gathered together until I saw how they sank and were swallowed up and perished in the water. But that vessel floated on the water, while all the oxen and elephant and camels and asses sank to the bottom with all the animals, so that I could no longer see them. They were not able to escape, but perish and sank into the depths. And again, I saw in the vision till those water torrents were removed from that high roof, and the chasm of the earth were leveled up, and other abysses were opened. Then the water began to run down into the abyss, right? Into these, till the earth became visible again. But listen to this. But that vessel settled on the earth, and the darkness retired, and light appeared. But that white bull, that's what it says. I'm not saying it, that's what it says. But that white bull, which had become a man, came out of that vessel, and the 3 bulls with him. One of those 3 was white. One of those 3 was white like that bull, and one of them was red as blood, and one black. Y'all do know those are the sons of Noah right there. Like, that's them. Everyone knows that it's one white, one black, and one red, like, or Asian. You get what I'm saying? So I gotta take it at face value that that's who he's talking about. And they began to bring forth beasts. Now, mind you, so the one that is listening to the fallen angels, it's what it says, right? That's what it says. I'm sorry. You want me to go back and read it? Because I know it's hard to rectify. Real talk. But it says, and the one of those 4 that went to that white bull instructed him in secret, without his being terrified. But that white bull, which had become a man, came out of that vessel, and the 3 bulls with him, and one of those 3 bulls was white like that bull, and one of them was red as blood, and one of them was black. And that white bull departed from them. Interesting. Because let me just tell you something else. This goes on to say Noah was a good guy. I think the white bull is Enoch. I do. Because it goes on to say that this won't be counted against you, Noah. You didn't do this, Noah. Don't feel bad about this, Noah. It says that. I'm going to keep reading it for you to see it yourself. But it does, like, they comfort, and like God himself, the Ancient of Days come out. Now, mind you, this book rarely talks about God. It's all mostly about angels. But at some point, the Ancient of Days comes out and says to Noah, man, don't worry. I know, it's okay, buddy. You know what I mean? So don't think I'm saying Noah. I'm saying Enoch, and I flat out saying who, because it says the white bull. He was born a bull, but then he became a man. So that means, let's say, uh, my daddy, right, was a bull. He had relationships with a woman. You get what I'm saying? And then I came. Now I'm a woman. That's what his line did, it seems. That's what that's what's coming to my head about it. I know God talking to me, so I ain't worried about, I know. This is the biggest time, like when I started telling people about this book, was when I got beat up. I got beat up for telling the truth about this book. So, sorry guys, I gotta keep telling the truth. Got to. Our lives depend on it when you see the rest of this. All right. And they began to bring forth beasts of the field and birds, so that there arose different genre. Wait a minute, did they come back and do it again? Yeah, they did. You know how I know they did? Because Jacob did it. Oh, that's gonna mess you up, right? Y'all didn't know that Jacob did DNA modification? He knew how to. He did it. Go look when Jacob is asking to leave with his wife. You gotta read the Bible. If you're really a fangirl of it or fanboy of it, go read it. When when Jacob wanted to leave with his wife Rachel, right? He literally tricked Laban by putting something in the water of the cattle that changed the cattle, because it was literally like one of those things where, all right, I want this one, no, and then Laban like, okay, I don't barely got any of them, so yeah, sure, you can have that. And then he came back, and now all of them was them. But that one thing people don't talk about, Jacob put something in the water. Go back and look at it. That's flat out what happened. Jacob put something in the water. That's all I gotta say. I'm not against Jacob. He's my forefather too. I'm saying you got to be all forgiving in order to hear this story. If not, you're going to put up offenses. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's your forefather and mine. Okay? So yeah, bro, they did something where a whole new genre came up. Lions and tigers, wolves. Listen to this. Lions, tigers, wolves, dogs, hyenas, wild boars, foxes, squirrels, swine. Now I get the whole swine thing. Nah, that makes sense, right? That just broke my heart because we all love bacon. But I get it. I get it. Now, like it's not. It's flat out made. It's an abomination after the deluge. But that would mean. Hold on. What's what y'all got to know? That would mean squirrels and foxes and boars and hyenas and dogs. And how my dog's bothering me all the time makes sense. Real talk. And how sometimes I'll look at baby girl and her eyes will be completely black. It's like it's almost sometimes like the little one. That big one is all good. I know that big one's all good. She too sweet not to be good. But that little dog of mine, sometimes I feel like she is a camera following me, and sometimes she'll be sitting there like this, and her eyeballs ain't there. You get what I'm saying? But I've been looking at her like, no evil butt, you know you my ancestor too there. So that for complete forgiveness is how you survive these abominations. You get what I'm saying? If I got mad at baby girl for being baby girl, you get what I'm saying, then we'd have a problem. I just know not to eat her. You get what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Because she's not of me, right? Eagles and ravens and vultures and falcons and foxes and tigers. I love tigers. Dag. So tigers are an abomination as well, according to this, because they're a different genre. One's supposed to bring about. Who does that? Like, who told you to create a new genre? He told you put one. He told you to put them in there 2 by 2. But now when you came out, you done created a new genre. That's what it says. I'm just giving y'all exactly what it says. And they began to bring forth beasts of the field and birds, so that there arose different genres: lions and tigers and wolves and dogs and hyenas and wild boars and foxes and squirrels and swine and falcons and vultures and kites and eagles and ravens. Eagle. Interesting. Interesting. And among them was born a white bull. Okay, here we go. And they began to bite one another. But that white bull, which was born amongst them, begat a wild ass, a wild beast, and a white bull with it. So it begat a wild beast and a white bull made something, okay? What did it make? And a white bull with it, and the wild ass multiplied. But that bull which was born from that begat a black wild boar and a white sheep. And the former begat many boars, but that sheep begat 12 sheep. And when those 12 sheep had grown, they gave up one of them to the asses. So 12 sheep, they gave up one of them, right? So out of 12 sheep, one of them got killed, right? That's all we taking is at face value. And those asses again gave up that sheep to the wolves. So the sheep gave up one of his sheep to the asses. And then the asses gave that same sheep to the wolves, is what it says. And that sheep grew up amongst the wolves. This sounds so like, this makes sense. I was wondering this. Wow, this makes sense. The story of the gremlin. Is it gremlins? What's his name? You know, there's two of them. They negotiate over Gizmo. That's what this reminds me of. And the Lord brought the, hold on, wait. And those asses again gave up that sheep to the wolves, and that sheep grew up amongst the wolves. And the Lord brought the 11 sheep to live with it and to pasture with it amongst the wolves. And they multiplied and became many flocks of sheep. And the wolves began to fear them, and they oppressed them until they destroyed their little ones. And they cast their young into the river of much water. But those sheep began to cry out on the account of their little ones, and to complain until their Lord. And a sheep which had been saved, remember it was 12, they gave away one. It sound like that one might have been saved. Sound like another story we know, right? And a sheep which had been saved from the wolves fled and escaped to the wild asses. And I saw the sheep, how they lamented and cried and besought their Lord with all their might, till that Lord of the sheep descended at the voice of the sheep from a lofty abode, and came to them and pastured them. And he called that sheep which had escaped the wolves, and spoke with it concerning the wolves, that it should admonish them not to touch the sheep. Should admonish them not to touch the sheep. Got it. It's important to know. And the sheep went to the wolves according to the word of the Lord, and another sheep met it and went with it. And the two went and entered together into the assembly of those wolves, and spoke with them and admonished them not to touch the sheep from henceforth. And therefore I saw the wolves and how they oppressed the sheep exceedingly with all their power, and the sheep cried out. And the Lord, wow, I get it. And the Lord came to the sheep, and they began to smite those wolves. And the wolves, I hope y'all listen. I hope y'all got ears to hear what's going on. This is stuff happening in history, in real life. Think of 1492. Think of what's going on in real life. And this story is timeless because this stuff is happening and has happened. And the Lord came to the sheep, and they began to smite those wolves. That's the story of Elijah, to tell you the truth. And the wolves began to make lamentations, but the sheep became quiet and forthwith ceased to cry out. So it's literally like, they was like, okay, we're gonna stop you from crying. We're gonna get you to stop crying. We're trying to eat you and do stuff to you. And you up here crying, shut up, shut up, shut up. That's basically what they said. Shut up, you better shut up. That's what they said, okay? So they quiet them, forthwith ceased to cry out, and I saw the sheep till they departed from amongst the wolves, but the eyes of the wolves were blinded, and those wolves departed in pursuit of the sheep with all their power. And the Lord of the sheep went with them as their leader, and all his sheep followed him. And his face was dazzling and glorious and terrible to behold. But the wolves began, which I get it now. That's why, like, 1 minute we talking race, but after all that stuff happened, now we talking species. You get what I'm saying? Like, that, I get it now. It started off like it was this white bull. That white bull had a white bull, a black bull, and a red bull, and then all of them mixed. The black bulls stopped doing their thing, and they all got mixed, right? And then now we got asses, and you get what I'm saying? So I get why God told me to understand the color part of this, because it started out as color, but at the same point, it really changes to species after a while. You got to see that. All right. Where was I? So they quiet forth ceased. Well, no, let me go back to it. And the Lord came to the sheep, and they began to smite those wolves, and the wolves began to make lamentation. But the sheep became quiet, and forthwith ceased to cry out. And I saw the sheep till they departed from amongst the wolves. But the eyes of the wolves were blinded. That's the reason why when I tell you that those that say they are not, you know what I mean? All of them don't know that they've been given a culture that's a lie. You get what I'm saying? All of them don't know that. Like, it's their culture for them now. You get what I'm saying? So no, there's some, like the wolves, some of them know. You get what I'm saying? Or better yet, probably all the wolves know. You know what I mean? But no, some of them know, because it says it. It literally says, and the wolves were blinded, and those wolves departed in pursuit of the sheep with all their power. And the Lord of the sheep went with them as their leader, and all his sheep followed him. And his face was drizzled and glorious and terrible to behold. But the wolves began to pursue those sheep till they reached the sea of the water. Okay, so now we know who the wolves are, right? The wolves is Egypt, right? Because that's the story of this is Moses now. Now we're talking about Moses. So I guess sheep would be actual human now. You get what I'm saying? So, because now we got to Moses. Before, we wasn't at Moses. Now we're up to Moses. And I told you, Moses was the first human. Okay. I hate the way his the verses I put together. with all their power. And the Lord of the sheep went with them as their leader, and all his sheep followed him. And his face was dazzled and glorious and terrible to behold. But the wolves began to pursue those sheep till they reached the sea water, and that water was divided. And the water stood on this side and on that before their face. And their Lord led them and placed himself between them and the wolves. And those wolves did not yet see the sheep. They proceeded into the midst of the sea. And the wolves followed the sheep, and those wolves ran after them into that sea. That's literally them into that sea. And when they saw the Lord of the sheep, they turned to flee before his face. But that sea gathered itself together and became as it had created. So basically, they got washed away. And the water swelled and rose till it covered those wolves. And I saw till all the wolves who pursued those sheep perished in the drowning. Okay, so right there, that's a lot. Like, I'm not gonna read all that to y'all. Y'all gotta go read it for yourself. But I hope this, like I'm saying, for all those people that say they kept the book of Enoch from us, I'm letting you know God did. I'm letting you know God did. Because it literally, I'm going to read on. I'll find it in there because it says giving them all the books is what helped them lead astray. That's he's going to talk about it. It's going to be talking about the knowledge of good and evil. And that all those angels giving the knowledge of these different things is what caused caused humanity to error. You get what I'm saying? And then, so listen to this. This book, on its own, I gotta find it. Nope. It's important for you to know this, but this book on its own flat out says this is where they went wrong while going wrong doing it. Like, there's going to be a part where it's going to say, yeah, because of this, 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 and because of this is why they went wrong. But it's literally what Enoch's doing as he writes. You get what I'm saying? It's literally the things that they were saying that they did wrong was the thing he was in the middle of doing. Let me find it. No, I'm not good at I'm not good at reading, like, it's just the way they have it set up. You know how in the Bible, they try to start verses off at the beginning of a sentence. Here, they don't care. They start verses, they're just writing numbers in between. So they don't really start at the beginning of a sentence. So it makes it hard to find where you can't go to just a verse, because if you go to a verse, you're in the middle of the sentence and not at the beginning. 7 Hall now. I'm gonna find it. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. I'm just looking. I couldn't have been that far. Oh yeah, so I must have went too far back. It must be up here somewhere. I think this is it. Wait. Okay. I don't know, but I'm gonna come back and read that just in case. I don't think that's where it's at, but give me one more second. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I think this is it. Now the mystery of the sinners. And now I know this mystery that sinners will alter and pervert the words of righteousness in many ways, and will speak wicked words and lie and practice great deceit and write books. Listen, okay, there it goes. This is the part I was trying to tell you about. So while he's in the middle of doing the thing that you shouldn't do, like you see, I got it wrote on here. The ego of man will always tell the plan. So I'm about to go back and read that plan from the beginning. Make sure that's at the right point. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try. I hope this is, I hope that's it. Let's try to read the whole, just paragraph. It's just a but it's a big paragraph. It says, I swear unto you that in heaven, which first off, are you allowed to do that? You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. You get what I'm saying? So when people ask me why don't I trust him, he does the things that angels know you don't do. How dare you swear by heaven? What? You don't do that. You get what I'm saying? So here we go. I swear unto you that in heaven the angels remembered you for good before the glory of the great one. And your names are written before the glory of the great one. Be hopeful, for aforetime ye were put to shame through ill and affliction, but now ye shall shine as lights of heaven. Remember I told you on Enoch, whoever these chosen people are, I'm telling you, they gonna glow according to Enoch. Well, it's according to the Bible too, but they really said a lot in Enoch. Ye shall shine and ye shall be seen, and the portals of heaven shall be opened to you. And in your cry for judgment, and it shall appear to you, for all your tribulation shall be visited on the rulers and on all who help those who plunder you. Be hopeful and cast not away your hope, for ye shall have great joy as the angel of heaven. Now, here's the thing. I'm just letting you know, a real Christian, right? I don't want to plunder nobody. You get what I'm saying? If you really know God, you ain't sitting here hoping for that. That ain't what you're doing, okay? So this ain't God talking. This is Enoch talking. You get what I'm saying? So y'all got to know that, like, hold up, dude. You can't just do certain things, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm just letting you know, if I'm one of the people that was oppressed, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Why would I do that to you? That don't make no sense. That ain't cool. You know, especially not when we got a God we serve. I know what he capable of because he brought me out. So why would I expect? No, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. The day of great judgment, and ye shall not be found as sinners, and the eternal judgment shall be far from you for all the generations of the world. And now fear not, ye righteous, when ye see the sinners growing strong and prospering in their ways. Be not companion with them, but keep afar from their violence, for they shall become companions of the host of heaven. And although ye sinners say, all our sin, listen to this, the sinners say, all our sins shall not be searched out and be written down. Nevertheless, they shall write down all your sins every day. And now I show unto you that light and darkness, day and night. How do you break the covenant between God and David is the change day and night, right? And I showed unto you that light and darkness, day and night, see all your sins. Be not godless in your hearts, and lie not. Lie, it ain't, it's Lie. And lie not, and alter not the words of uprightness, nor charge with lying the words of the great Holy One, nor take account of your idols, for all your lying and all your godlessness issues not in righteousness, but in great sin. And no, I know this mystery. Wasn't he the one that was charged to tell us? Like, or that's what he said, right? But you know this mystery. So you knew this a while ago. Okay. And I know this mystery. Remember, that's how I felt when I was listening to Gematria, that class on Gematria, that it was like, oh, so you knew. That's what you're telling me. Okay, got it. And I know this mystery that sinners will alter and pervert the words of righteousness in many ways, and will speak wicked words and lie and practice great deceits. Listen to this. And write books concerning their words. But when they write down truthfully all my words in their languages, hold up. Y'all do know this ain't God talking. This is Enoch talking. That ain't a capital M-E. You know what I mean? That's Enoch talking. But when they write down truthfully all my words in their language and do not change or diminish aught from my words, but write them down, all down, truthfully, all that I first testified concerning them, then I know another mystery. What you know, Enoch? Now I'll be like, oh, what you know? So when they write down all the words and everything that I've said, like once they did that, then I know another mystery. Why would he say it like that too? Like, okay. Like, I'm a little mad about that. Then I know another mystery. That books will be given to the righteous and the wise to become a cause of joy and uprightness and much wisdom. And to them that shall the book be given, and they shall believe in them and rejoice over them, and then shall all the righteousness who have learnt therefrom all the path of uprightness be recompensed. Now, I don't want to read y'all all this to prove it to you. So I'm going to try to find out where exactly it's at. Because then after that, he goes on to say that knowledge that these books, like the first part, he made it sound like, if you listen to everything I said, write it all down, like now you got a path, that kind of thing. But you go a little bit further, he flat out says that was where the book of, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and how and who gave what knowledge. Like it literally says, this one taught you about war, and this one taught you about this, and this one taught you about that, and this one taught you about this. The duality is like, you got to be willing to take the words at face value and consider the source. There we go. Consider the source, right? Because he just told you, once you write down all these books, well, let's read it again. I want to make sure. I want to be 100% make sure here. Hold on. I'm going to step back to the first. Be not godless in your hearts, and lie not, and alter not the words of uprightness, nor charge with lying the words of the Holy Great One. Now, I'm believing that is the Most High is who he means there, because it has all capital letters. Nor take account, nor take account your idols. I see the idol for light. That's an idol for light. A cross is light. That's what they literally uh, sacrificed him on top of an image of light itself. Okay, that's what a cross is. And how do I know that? Just look at the here. You might be able to see it yourself. Let me find it. If you have a light in a camera, you'll see the cross. Let's see if you see it. Let's try this light bulb. No, that light bulb ain't a good light bulb. I need a twinkly light bulb. Because they'll just go like this, like a Christmas tree. A Christmas light. It'll go like that when you look at it in a lens. You get what I'm saying? So that's important to know. Is when he say idols, I know we love those crosses, but I'm letting you know it's an idol. It's not just the idol, it's the worst kind of idol, an idol literally of light itself. That's not a good idol. You don't want to do that. That's literally, that's them mocking God. That's not good. No, don't. And I'm used to that. I know when someone will act like they like something, but they're mocking you. You get what I'm saying? They'll be sitting there really all up in it, but the truth is they're mocking you. With that practice. You get what I'm saying? Like, same thing with, here we go, it's like with the Black History Month, right? It's February, right? You're mocking with that. You get what I'm saying? That's the smallest month, and sometimes it has an extra day, sometimes it don't, and you get what I'm saying? So that concept of giving you the littlest is a mockery. All right. I want to find the place where it shows, I'll just keep reading for a second. In those days, the Lord abode to summon and testify to the children of earth concerning their wisdom. Show it unto them, for ye are their guides, and a recompense over the whole earth. Word recompense. I thought it meant reward. What does recompense mean? The way they said it there, I don't know if it's a reward. You know what I mean? It just felt weird. I don't know. Let's go to it. That's why this is the dictionary is always our deciding factor. Recompense to the whole world. Recompense. Recommendation, recommend, recompense, to repay, to reward, to compensate, something given or done in return for something else. A reward, something given or done to make up for the loss of something. So like restitution is technically what recompense is. Okay. So now let's read it again, knowing I didn't know what recompense meant. So now let's go back to it and make sure I knew, I just did, I wanted to make sure. In those days, the Lord obeyed them to summon and testify to the children of the earth concerning their wisdom. Show it unto them, for ye are their guides, and a recompense over the whole earth. For I and my son will be united with them forever in the paths of righteousness in their lives, and ye shall have peace. Rejoice, ye children of uprightness. Now, here we go. I know you also want to, like, I'm telling you don't trust them, but I'm telling you you could trust that righteousness is the way. Because, like, even though he's talking as if he's God, God won't be mocked. You get what I'm saying? So the truth will always be there, even if someone is taking liberties that they shouldn't take. You get what I'm saying? Like if I was to start just telling y'all stuff without saying God said, that might be a liberty that I shouldn't take, because nobody gets the glory but God. You get what I'm saying? So let's say I do take that liberty. Remember, God's names for the Trinity are pronouns. You get what I'm saying? So if I was to say, and I said this, and I said this, and you take it upon me, if you know your God's voice, you will know that me ain't me. You get what I'm saying? But if you're evil, you'll think it's me. And if I'm evil, I be, it's me. But you could listen, that's how you could look at evil. Like, if you will bow down and worship me. If you ain't scared of that, you literally go, you're right, I do. I bow down and worship him every day. You get what I'm saying? Because that's the truth. You're right, I will bow down and worship me. Because me is God. Like, not me. I M-E, the capital M-E. You get what I'm saying? So it shows you, I just want you to know, don't fear these books. Keep God first and know that all words that are said are from him, but take it at face value, because all words ain't, like, depending on the source, all words ain't serving him, or no, because all words do serve him. Please excuse me. All words ain't good. I'll say that. That's the truth. All words ain't good. How do I explain that, Father? He said it's going. I feel him saying it's going to be like, how do you explain someone's heart? Only I know their heart. It's like he's telling me I can't explain it to you because it's about your heart. You get what I'm saying? That's when in comes the heart as his deciding factor. Okay, well then I won't, hopefully they got ears to hear. I won't try to force that understanding. But what else, is there anything else you want me to show them, Father? So I'll recap so far. I'm just gonna recap real quick so y'all can see it. At the beginning of us reading about the book of luminaries, a particular individual was shown all of this secrets, all this information, right? That's what happened. The big part of the information he was shown was that all of the luminaries truly, they use the word truly. That's deep. This book of Enoch said they truly have to go in their order. They have a place on the world stage. But this year, they knocked something out of orbit, which would mean they knocked something out of line. Okay? Go back and read in the book of Enoch, towards this part, right? The beginning part. I'm closer here now. But you will see that, I'm losing my train of thought. In the beginning, what did you want me to say in the beginning? In the beginning. Oh, just that you'll see that they have to go in line. You'll see that. If not, they broke the cycle. So that's where I'm going with this. That's what has happened in 2022. Okay, they did that very thing and moved luminary to where it didn't go the way it was supposed to go. So then it says, because of this, what's going to happen? They're going to err to their ways, right? Oh, and guess what else? It says, I forgot to show y'all that. Somewhere in here, it says not only are they going to err in their ways, they're going to believe they're gods because of this error. This error is going to make them believe they're gods. Interesting. So, it's happened in the future. We're in the future. They moved the celestial body because it said truly. So that meant there's somebody trying to say, nah, it ain't going. You ain't. If you mess with an asteroid, you ain't heard nothing. But he said truly, they have something they're supposed to be doing, right? Also, it started off with race, but then it changed to species. Just like God been telling me, real talk. So it started off a white bull. Now, mind you, if they were, what you got to know is all of them were Nephilim at the beginning. They just were, right? And it says it though, not all of them. Nope, nope, nope. Because we just read this. The white bull hooked up with one of the four of the fallen angels. One of the four went to him and had a secret with him, the kind of secret that, he wasn't terrified about. Okay? So then that white bull got a heifer, right? And they put out his privy, right? And they made a whole bunch of things that didn't have races anymore. It was camels and asses, and like it didn't have color anymore. It was like different. It made these things that it wasn't about race no more. You get what I'm saying? And then it showed the deluge of how all that stuff got washed away, and how it literally said, like, this is his great, Noah is his grandchild. No, it's his child. No, it's his grandchild. Right? Yeah, Noah is his grandchild. Wow, that's deep. Why would he tell that story about a genetically modified Noah in this book? Why would he do that? If that's his grandson and he's righteous, why would he tell that type of story in this? That's what Enoch literally said there's going to be a white bull, and that white bull is going to born a man. Like that white bull is going to bore a man. Okay, that man going to take 3 other men and go into a vessel. Water going to rise, and then when the water fall back down, that white man that was a bull going to come out along with 3 other ones. Right? A black one, a white one, and a red one, right? So at that point, where was I going with that? Oh, because after that though, they once they came out, which now this makes sense for how the Bible says, in those days there were Nephilim in the land, and after those days there were Nephilim in the land. Makes sense, because now we know. Then after that it says that I just read this. One of them, the genre word. That's the word I'm trying to put out. So after they came out of the vessel, right? They made new genres of animals. The eagle, the pig, the squirrel, the dog, the wolf. They made these new genre of animals after they came out. Now, are we mad at him for doing that? That is not our judgment to make, because if you're gonna be mad at him for doing that, which don't get me wrong, I've never said I was mad at him for doing that, right? I'm mad because he talks like he takes privileges that I know there ain't no way this book should be sought after because of those privileges that he takes, right? So what I'm saying is, don't forget, though, we know that technology is possible from the book of, what is that? When does Jacob do it? Jacob does the same thing. Like he does genetic modification. Jacob does that in the Bible. He does. Go look. It's the story of where, I think it's Laban. He's trying to get away from Laban with his wife. So he did. He put something in the water to change those animals, and he did it. And he knew how to do it, and he did it flat out. Which that matches. The black one did something wrong to the red one, right? That's Jacob and like that matches that too. That's Jacob and Esau. Is that Esau? Yeah. So I don't know where it's at in the Bible. Hopefully y'all will go study. I haven't said anything that I haven't studied. So don't believe me until you go study it. But it is my hope that, now mind you, did I want you to go be mad at Enoch? No. The moral to this teaching, one, is so that you'll take things at face value and stop saving face for the sins of our forefathers. Because if we continue, that's a spell so that they believe the lie. If we continue to do that, we're literally going to perish. Like the people with you will perish because of it. You get what I'm saying? Not just you, your family will perish because of it. You get what I'm saying? Like, praise God. We praise God. Like this deal for this Goshen look like it's about to go through. But did I want to be a farmer? Is that why I bought a Goshen? No, God. I would have loved to stay right here in my house. Did I buy a Goshen? Did I buy a farm because I had nowhere to go? No, because the truth is, when I got that money, I could have went and got a little house somewhere for $45,000 with no acres of land. Right now, there's barely a house on the property where I'm going. So no, it wasn't about that either. It's because I know this book. I know not all these books, but I know I've read the prophecy of the fire that will beseech the world. It ain't just, it's not, they gonna burn the place down. God says it 1,000 times here. God says it 1,000 times here. And dude gonna benefit. Dude gonna benefit from it. So that's why I'm running. The wise are running right now. You get what I'm saying? That it says it over and over again. So I'm just saying it too. I don't want to, because everyone's been saying, oh, you've been saying you want a farm, that you always know that now people starting to lie to me. Not people who've known me forever. It's like, you said you always wanted a farm. No, I didn't. I ain't never said that. But within the past 3 years, I have been saying it, but it ain't because I want to go work on a farm by myself. No, it's because the wise see the path. We've read it. We didn't lie to ourselves. They flat out said that, hold on, let me read it again. So that way you'll see. And now I know this mystery, that sinners will alter and pervert the words of righteousness in many ways, and will speak wicked words and lie and practice great deceits and write books concerning their words. But when they write them down truthfully, all my words in their languages, and do not change or diminish out from my words, but write them all down truthfully, all that I first, why did he say all that I first testified about? I'm just saying. I feel like God makes people tell the truth. Even Enoch. You know what I mean? Enoch had to tell the truth. But that's what y'all got to understand, is that if we keep saving face, you won't do what's necessary to save your family. If we keep saving face about these stories, we won't do what's necessary. Like right now, many of you, oh, just Jesus got me. He died and he gonna take me in a rapture. Bible doesn't say that. Jesus doesn't even say that. He said at that moment they will offer you over to death. So why are we believing that? I used to believe it. Well, I said a 3/4 rap. I said if there's a rapture, it's at the end. But I'm letting y'all know, every book I've read, and I'm a face value kind of girl. Like, I'm a hood kind of girl, where I know that kind of girl where it's literally like, yeah, I ain't about to lie or act like it didn't say that. It said it, because I know my life may depend on that testimony. You get what I'm saying? I know my life might depend on that testimony. So I'm not going to act like they didn't say it. They said it. So I hope I'm empowering you to, one, know that a great Destruction is coming at the hands of man, but ordered by God. An ordered hit out on the people, maybe some asses and elephants and wolves, I don't know. But an ordered hit is coming. Believe me, only as far as you'll study it, though. If you ain't gonna study it, sit safely, secure, and say, nope, the jab meant me good, and my job. Oh, that's another one. There's literally in here, it says they gave you a career so that you'd be too tired, a career, so that you'd be too tired to listen to God. That's what it says. I wrote the word career next to it big time. Like it said something like that, but I knew it meant career. It was literally like, that's a career. They just gave you a career so that you'd be too tired to listen to the words coming out of this girl's mouth. Oh, where is it? It's just back further. Yeah, I had to write the word big as day, career on there, because I was like, hold the heck up. Look, another place. So I showed y'all the first one where it was burnt with fire. Look at this. Literally, it says it over and over again. And in it a man shall ascend. And I definitely got to read this, okay? Because it gives you like these seven portals. But it's basically like a one word, like a sentence of apocalypses. You get what I'm saying? It's like a sentence of apocalypses, okay? Let me read this real quick. And after that, Enoch both gave and began to recount from the books. And Enoch said, oh, this is where it was at with the books too, I bet. I think this is like before this is where it was with these books. But here we go. Concerning the children of righteousness, and concerning the elect of the world, and concerning the plant of uprightness, I will speak these things. Yea, I, Enoch, will declare them unto you, my sons, according to that which appeared to me in the heavenly vision, and which I have known through the word of the holy angels, and I have learnt from the heavenly tablets. And Enoch began to recount from the books and said, I was born the 7th in the first week. I don't know what that means. It literally says, I was born the 7th in the first week. I don't know if he's the 7th child or if he Hananiah. I don't know. You know what I mean? But just know this. He was born in the 7th. I was born the 7th in the first. So it might be. Oh, he was born July in the first week of July. That's what it means. He was born in the first week of July. That's what that means. Okay, I got you. I was born the 7th in the first week. Got it. While judgment and righteousness still endured. And after me there shall arise the second week. Oh, by the way, this is called the apocalypse of weeks, is what this is. Okay. And after me there arise in the second week a great wickedness and deceit. So after you was born, great wickedness comes. Got you. Second week, great wickedness and deceit shall have sprung up, and in it there shall be the first end. Which was, right? Yep. So that's the truth. The first end was the first deluge, the Noah's flood. Yep, true. And in it a man shall be saved. In the deluge, a man shall be saved. Praise God. And after it is ended, unrighteousness shall grow up, and a law shall be made for sinners. And after that, in the third week, at its close, a man shall be elected, as the plant of righteous judgment, and his posterity shall become the plant of righteousness forevermore. I think that might have been Moses. And after that, in the fourth week, at its close, vision of the holy and righteous shall be seen. This sounds like visions of the holy and righteous shall be seen. This sounds like God is pouring out his spirit, you know. And after that, in the fourth week, at its close, visions of the holy and righteous shall be seen. And a law for all generations and an enclosure shall be made for them. And after that, in the fifth week, at its close, the house of glory and dominion shall be built forever. And after that, in the sixth week, all who live in it shall be blinded. So this is the sixth week. All that live in it shall be blinded. They don't know if they really are the Jews or not. Just like we don't know if we really are the Israelites or not. And just like they don't know, like we don't never hear nothing about Indian people. Who are they? You get what I'm saying? So like, just like no one knows who they are. All the people are blinded. We're Asian people. You get what I'm saying? Like all of them are blinded. So after that, in the sixth week, all who live in it shall be blinded. And the hearts of all of them shall godlessly forsake wisdom. Praise God. They should godlessly forsake wisdom. So that was the sixth week. Now we're going to go down to the seventh week, okay? And in it a man shall ascend. No. It's still the sixth week. So in the sixth week, because they didn't, no. Let's go back to the sixth week. And after that, in the sixth week, all who live in it shall be blinded. So don't nobody know who they are, right? And the hearts of all of them shall godlessly forsake wisdom. Yep. I had women that had 8 viewers. But as soon as I started talking like that real stuff where you like, whoa, did she just say Peter? Did she just say John? Everybody forsake wisdom. They don't want to hear it. It's flat out though. So it's okay. I get it. It's the truth. So I'm down with it. And in it a man shall ascend. Ascend. And at its close, the house of dominion shall be burnt with fire. And the whole race of the chosen root shall be dispersed. That's what it says. And after that, in the seventh week, that's the final week, right? The seventh week, that's like the millennial would be that week. You get what I'm saying? So I know we're in the sixth week, right? But in the seventh week, after that, in the seventh week, shall an apostate generation arise. That ain't good, right? An apostate generation shall arise, and many shall be its deeds, and all its deeds shall be apostate. And at its close shall be elected, at its close, at the end of the seven. See, there it go again. That's at the end of the seven. At its close shall be elected the elect righteous of the eternal plant of righteousness to receive sevenfold instruction concerning his creation. So, hold on 1 second. I think I hear God telling me I got to read one more. I'm tired, but I'm going to read one more. I'm going to do it. I feel like he's telling me this next one is circled, but it's really about the fact that it says 91. Because why 91? Because earlier the two luminaries that they were in charge of 91 a piece. It was two of them. It was like, you're in charge of 91 and you're in charge of 91. And then I see 91 right there. And then God has been on top of faithful to learn Psalms 91. So I'm going to read it, okay? But I'm reading it simply because God said read it, right? I don't know if it matches what we were talking about. I'm just going to read it, okay? And after that, there shall be another, the 8th week, that of righteousness, and a sword shall be given to it. An eighth, oh, it's deep. Me and Faithful, let me tell you how I know this is deep. Me and Faithful earlier, we were reading when Jacob buys a field. We just bought a Goshen, so we were reading about that. But when it was saying that in the 18th year was when Babylon took its siege, and I was telling her how the number, eight represents the new world order. Like for them, 8 is like that's when the new world order has begun. You get what I'm saying? So right here where it says, and after that there shall be another, the 8th week. This matches also the Bible. You get what I'm saying? Like it says, there should be another one, the 5th, who is also the 8th, which we got to go back and look at that. Wow. Or if anybody's out there, which one was also the 8th in the book of Revelations? Is it the book of the book of Revelations? Somebody was 1 week, but he was also the 8th week. You get what I'm saying? So I would like to know. It would probably help us understand this more if anybody knows what that is. And after that, there should be another, the 8th week. Now we're talking about that New World Order stuff. That of righteousness, and a sword shall be given to it, that a righteous judgment may be executed on the oppressors, and sinners shall be delivered into the hands of the righteous. Well, y'all, the sinners gonna go to the righteous because they're gonna be glowing. Just so you know that. I want y'all to know that. It ain't gonna be really delivered. They're gonna be delivered because picture you can't see nothing, and now this person is glowing. You're gonna run to that person. All sinners shall be delivered unto the hands of the righteous, and at its close they shall acquire houses through their righteousness. Praise God. And a house shall be built for the great King in glory forevermore. And all mankind shall look to the path of uprightness. And after that, in the 9th week, the righteous judgment shall be revealed to the whole earth. And all the works of the godless shall vanish from all of the earth. And the world shall be written down for destruction, and the world shall be written down for destruction. And after this, in the 10th week, in the 7th part, one of them, I said, we're in the 7th part. We're in the 7th part. And then God showed me the reason for that number 14, because the 7th part is also the 14th part. They're the same part, right? Of light given unto the luminaries, like to the moon. When the moon gets her 7th part is her 14th part. Okay, so that's important to know. So her 7th part is like, you could see it on the thing over there. Like it's like when it first comes up, it is the first part, right? Then it accomplishes 7th part, but then its full accomplishment is at the 14th part. By the way, they've been lying to us, telling us that you figure out the moons by it having no light. Now he says here flat out that it's the full moon is the real moon, the right moon. So we're thinking the new moon is the new moon is the one where I guess like it only gets a slither of light. But the real moon, the real new moon is that full moon. I just want y'all to know that. It really is. Like that waxing and waning. It says it in all the books. Flat out. But that spell makes you think you don't know no better. That they told us it was the one without light. But wisdom should tell you, read the book, what the book say. The book flat out says when she's accomplished her life, when all the light from the sun has transferred unto her, literally, I saw someplace where it flat out said in the Bible, where is it? I didn't write it down? Please tell me I wrote it down. Where it said flat out in the Bible, y'all. Psalms 81, verse 3, and Revelations, my birthday. If you know what my birthday is, you know what Revelation I'm going to tell you. But 612, real talk. Remember I told you, he always makes stuff be birthdays so that way you'll never forget them. Don't think I'm saying me lofty. It's just I'm studying this right now, and he says, put him to a birthday so that you won't ever forget him. You get what I'm saying? But 612 literally says the full moon is the day of the Lord. Basically, like almost word for word. Let's go to that. So that way you won't be wondering about a new, like I was in my house. I'm not talking about you like you dumb. No, I'm dumb. I was in my house listening to Carrie Ann and them talk about put boards on the walls. Y'all saw it, right? Scared. Don't get me wrong. I am gonna do that, but not for no. I was doing it for a new moon. They trying to get you messed up. Tell Carrie Ann stop teaching if she ain't gonna read that Bible. I said it. And anybody else that's trying to teach, if you ain't reading that Bible, stop lying. Because that's a big mistake. I'm boarded up on the wrong day listening to her. You feel what I'm saying? That's a lot of energy to put boards up on the wall. My daughter don't know if I'm sane right now because I was thrown to the wrong day. You get what I'm saying? But it says it in here. 6:12. Let's go to Revelation 6:12. You'll see it. Revelation 6:12. Okay. I looked when he opened the sixth seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became like blood. Now, that ain't the one. It must have been the Psalms one. But I'm going to let you, when I read that, I remember thinking to myself, that only happens on a full moon. Like, if you know anything about science, the blood moon only comes on a full moon. It don't come on a new moon. It comes on a full moon. So it must have been Psalms 81. Y'all know I got to do better with the studying, but my mind just be running 1,000 miles a minute. You got to forgive me. To where I forget to write stuff down. I be like, ooh, that's what he said, and I just move on, forgetting to write it down so you guys can see it. Psalms 81 verse 3. I was like, I gotta write this down so they can understand. Here we go. Blow the trumpet at the time of the new moon, comma. This is what you need to know. Teach your children to fall in love with punctuation, because they've been lying to a lot of y'all with punctuation. Like we ignore it, but that is important to know. There's a comma there. At the time of the new moon, at the full moon, and at our solemn feast days, for this is the statute of Israel and the law of God of Jacob. That can't be it either. There was some, Google it. Just Google the word phases of the moon Bible verses and go through and look. Maybe it was Joel 23. I wrote down a few of them. But I know I didn't write them all down or it would be here. And then the way I take notes is I screenshot stuff on my phone, and y'all are on my phone right now. But go look it up. I don't have to convince you, because you need to go look it up. And see and practice taking things at face value and not adding inherently good. They wouldn't do that to us while they're saying they're coming deceiving you. Literally, that's what it says. They're coming deceiving. But then you go, no. You know, they wouldn't do that. Or the mark of the beast ain't that jab. No, it's a chip. How do they get a chance to deceive you then? Like, help me. Like, you get what I'm saying? I need y'all to wake up. Gotta make this real fun. We gotta have a lot of fun being warriors for God. But until y'all wake up and realize y'all lives are in danger because the Bible said so, not everybody, right? Y'all gotta know. If you a fan person, you already made you getting the heck up out of Dodge. You're running to the booths. You're studying after it. Here we go. Me and Faithful talked about this earlier. Like, cause Faithful is always super faithful. Like, just super faithful. Like, I know God. And, it's like, okay, I know. I'm always, like, they said Jesus was going to save me. I ain't believe that until later on. You get what I'm saying? But that non-belief is what made me feel like my life needed to understand this stuff. And along the way, I understood Christ. So I'm letting y'all know the comfiness that y'all are feeling ain't real. Ain't real. Christ himself said that they're going to offer you up to death. Go read Matthew 24. Himself. And I'm saying this, and I'm sorry, I hope I don't hurt your feelings too bad. But if you got children or grandchildren, and you get off of this thing, like you sitting there like, yeah, I'm listening, I'm watching. But you get off of here and don't start teaching those children, and don't start preparing a way for those children, or hear something that deep that I'm letting you know, God said he about to hand you over to Babylon. And you don't feel the need to go check that out. Oh, he didn't say he was handing you over to, not just that he was handing you over to Babylon. He said he was handing you over to Babylon and you won't escape. Only those that love him enough to search after the truth. He said it. Then you'll hide and you'll abide in the shadow of the Most High. That's when you get to Psalms 91, right? But that was only for those that love him. That was only for those that did this kind of thing, that searched, that did not turn this video off and go, man, that's interesting. What's for dinner? How dare you do that if you got children with you? How dare you do that if there's no man in your household to take the brunt? How do you get to rest? A little sleep, a little slumber. How do you get to rest when we're on the brink of, guess what? Remember how last year everything was saying 22, like 22 was the last chapter of the Bible. It was, it was 22 showing all of the 22 being the end. But now do you know 32 and 23? Oh, them two coming up. They coming up. Literally, in the year 23, I finally was blessed with the Goshen, which Jeremiah bought the first ever Goshen, right? The first ever piece of land like that in the chapter 32. How long are we going to act like this stuff isn't supernatural? How long are we going to act like it's not real? That's what I was trying to find for y'all. Where they said they were giving you a career so you would just not listen. It says it in your beloved book of Enoch. I got beat up over this book. I got cussed out over this book. But it says it. The reason why you can't hear me right now and ain't doing what it takes to save your family or to be the unlikely hero. Picture that. You could be an unlikely hero to your family. Everybody else ain't listening. But you grabbing water every single day. That you're making arrangements like Home Alone. Y'all know the movie Home Alone. Yeah, that's about that day. You saw what their family did every Home Alone. They was up out. They was up through. Oh, and guess what? Remember what I told you when I did this? Listening to Enoch? I said, if the Illuminati gonna do something, they gonna do it in that portal. Guess what day that is? Home Alone. Real talk. That's a Home Alone day. Now I believe God gonna do something in the seventh day, like somewhere around between this line. No, wait. He said start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe somewhere around this line. Okay. But I believe that like this is just so happened to be the 12th month according to the way Enoch did it all. This one right here, the 12th month. Home Alone runs away. At the beginning of Home Alone, what happens? The moon turns blood. I remember it was, or no, it disappears. That's what it does. Remember, it was a full moon. And then I'm talking about the opening credits for the movie Home Alone. It's a full moon that does something. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, everybody and everything is telling you this. I'm just wondering, how long are you not gonna do nothing? Real talk. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, everybody gotta like there is a Goshen for all of us in Edmonton, Kentucky. It will be eventually. Okay, that's the truth. But do you really want to go through the scatter process? Do you really want to go through the watching your women? Because remember, the white bull came after that heifer. Real talk. She comforted her and she ain't cried no more after that. Do you really want to watch that happen? Do you want to watch your children not having water to drink because it has been, remember, we know they got the technology to put something in the water and change things. We know that because the Bible says it. Do we really want to watch this when they're telling us all of it? We're watching them it unplay on the world stage. They flat out did change the course of the Illuminaries in our faces. Just saying, how long? How long, guys? This is important to me. If it ain't important to you, it's important to me. I need to know. I need to know for your sake, right? I need you to wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, y'all. Wake up. Who's coming after you? And when? I feel like I want to talk to everyone like wake up, like the dementia. Who's coming? When they're coming? What are they gonna do when they get here? Tell me. You get what I'm saying? Hopefully, could you answer any of those questions? Any bold soul, can you answer those questions? Or did I spend 188 minutes for nothing? Tell me. I need to know. Because here we go. Who's coming? Anybody out there? Who's coming? And when they get here, what they gonna do? What you should be doing? What is it for then? That's all I'm saying, guys. I'm scared for your children. All you see coming off of me is passion for your children, for your grandchildren. Are we fan people of this book? Well, then when are we going to believe it? I'm telling y'all, I don't think there's much time left. I now know. Remember I was telling you, I think there's something going on with July. Just found out Enoch was born in the first week of July. Wow. Remember I told you, July 3rd, it's my sister's birthday, but it's also 1,290. Is it 90 or 60? I don't know. One of those two, because and those are vampire numbers, by the way, right? Meaning, I think it's the 1,260th day. From the day they gave out the first bad boy from the winter equinox. I think it's the equinox. The winter equinox. July 3rd. The next day would be July 4th, which would be their feast days, right? Wouldn't that be their feast days if you don't like a Babylon? Babylon's feast day would be July 4th. I don't know what day it is. I'm letting you know it's coming though. I'm letting you know it's coming this year. Something like it. Y'all ain't gonna be safe by the end of this year. true. That's true. So I just want to ask you, how long? How long we gonna deny what we reading? How long we gonna act like he didn't say it flat out? How long are you gonna think your life is not in jeopardy when God said it was? Or better yet, if you're really a person of God, how much responsibility do you have to the people around you? Like, yeah, those sinners around you. Yeah, we all got sinners around us. How much responsibility to them do we believe? Do we believe those red words of Christ when he said, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was in prison, you came to visit me. They said, when did I do that? Every time you do it for the least of these, you did that. It's different for your little sister that is always going out getting drunk every week. She ain't nobody gonna help her unless you do. Who gonna help her? If you don't start teaching these ways to the people around you, who gonna help them? If you don't if you don't teach them, let's say you can't teach them, they can't hear you anyways. But if you ain't making provisions for them, what are you doing? It's the truth. So this video started out rickety because I didn't know how to get a theoretical concept across to you guys. You know, feelings and heart. I get why he said he's the only one who could judge a heart, because y'all can't even see a heart. You get what I'm saying? It's like this. I'm blind to a heart. You gotta first have one in order to see one. Having a heart would be making provisions. I shouldn't be the only person that gave up everything in the world right now to go get a Goshen. If you got a house of your own and you looked and went, oh shoot, the value on my house is really high and they coming, you need to do what it takes for you then. Or don't get me wrong, you're so welcome to come with me. But if that's the case, yeah, you need to give into that ground then. Or you need to get some food together. You need to get ready to come visit me so we can work the land together. You gotta start moving. You know what Faithful called me today and said? I gotta tell y'all that she said it. This was the first after, I finally told her that I told everybody about the $250. But she was happy because of the fact that she didn't know she put down a down payment on the Goshen. She didn't know and guess what she told me? She was literally like, when God told her to give me a sacrificial offering, that she literally was like, okay, I'll give her $100, God. And then she said, God told her, stop, no, I said sacrificial. And then she came up with $250, real talk. Then when I got there, all I had was $250. So then it was her $250 that got put down on the Goshen. That made her go scream, yes! But think about if she was disobedient, because she said she was going to just give $250, that's a lot of money. She need that money. And it ain't like I'm a pastor. You know what I mean? That ain't who I am. You get what I'm saying? I'm just a person that's been reading the Bible and studying and listening. No, but because she listened, all of you got a Goshen. That's the truth. That's the truth. And she's definitely been there. Like she right now is helping me get I can't afford it. I have nothing. I gave everything I had. But she's helping me get a inspection done on the property. To make sure that we know what we are purchasing. Because we're getting it no matter what. I just want y'all to know that. Even if there's stuff wrong with it, we just want to know what we got to fix when we get there. Why? Because we're worried about our children, grandchildren, our older brothers. She got older brothers. She's the baby girl of her family. They need a place to go. But she would, that's how her and I always stuck closer than glue, because every time I said move, she moved. Not saying I said move, please forgive me, but every time God gave us something, every time God manifests something, there we go. See, I don't play about that. No, forgive me. But every time we said something, every time I'm sitting there, like, remember, she was the one who taught me to actually say what God was saying. I wouldn't say, I was scared. I was literally, I think, I feel, I don't get mad at me. Same like I'm doing now. But she, girl, say it. So I'm saying it to you. Do what it takes to get ready. This is not a joke. This is not for your entertainment. I genuinely don't care about your entertainment. Real talk. I care about your children. I care about your grandchildren. I care about your old auntie that lives by herself on 82nd in St. Clair, or where my auntie lives. I care about where my auntie lives. I can't think of the name of the street. But you get what I'm saying? Over here, real talk, that's who this is for. Real talk. So, do something. Don't just sit there. Do something. That's all I gotta say. I think I could passionately talk to y'all and tell. I feel so much like I feel so much over me right now, to where I could just keep going. But it's been 197 minutes and no one told me who's coming. Who's coming? What they gonna do when they get here? It's important. Because if you don't know, you gotta go back and watch that video again. You gotta go watch all the videos I've been doing ever since the day he told me about Hananiah. Go, who's coming? Who's coming? Gog and Magog. What are they doing? Hiding amongst you. Why are they hiding amongst you? So that one day they can go rah and jump out in the middle of you. And it ain't my words. That's Ezekiel chapter 38. That's not my words. That's not my prophecy. I'm not sitting around trying to give you prophecies. No, I'm telling you what the Bible said. You understand? I'm trying to get you serious about being a warrior, a faithful wisdom warrior. If not, you're going to have to watch some bad stuff. That's really all. That's it. Yeah, you'll be taken care of. But until you get to where you're going, you're going to watch some bad stuff. Oh, God. If y'all saw when I woke up from the dream, I saw the day of the Lord. And our children didn't fare too well because we were complacent. Our children in that dream didn't fare too well because we were complacent. And when I say they didn't fare too well, I want you to know, like, literally, half died, and the other half became evil. Can you live with that? Because see, this whole, who's coming? Gog and Magog. Why? Why is Gog and Magog coming? Because the great falling away has to happen. That happens after Gog and Magog comes. Because the people then render, there couldn't be a God because this happened. He could not be, that's what the Bible says. I ain't saying this is what I say. Bible says that he couldn't be with us. He couldn't be on our side. So they fall away. And then, shortly after, when Jesus comes in back with the clouds, because the cloud, that's not, remember, the cloud's gone. The real cloud's gone. But when them real clouds come back, Jesus come back with the clouds then a whole bunch of people gonna do what? Oh, not rejoice. I'll be rejoicing. But a lot of people ain't gonna rejoice. Why? They're gonna mourn at that moment. Why did they mourn? Because they said no one and nothing could beat the beast, that there was no God. That's what they said. Wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to get ready. That's what I was telling you about Faithful. But I made a mistake and talk about that other part. Faithful said, now mind you, this is true. I know this is true. I've been with Faithful nonstop day, through this whole process. Faithful literally told me that either yesterday or today was the first time she felt hope about surviving it. And it's true, because Faithful always said, what could you do? We're going to die anyway. We're good. What can you do? All you can do is just wait on God. There ain't nothing you can do. Guess what? I heard Faithful say there's something we could do. That's special. That's special. Because Faithful had accepted her fate, not knowing that there's a whole nother thing. Like, she literally gave her obedience gave the down payment for the hope that she hadn't felt in 3 years. I'm with her. I feel hope too. And that's what got me sitting here talking. Because if y'all don't wake up, it's gonna be a lonely Goshen. It's gonna be a lonely Goshen. I don't want to be there alone. I hope y'all wake up. I don't care if you come with me. Come with me. Come make weekend plans to come work the land. Help us farm on the land so that we could be ready. And you could say that was the thing that you did for your grandchildren. I'm down with it. Yes. Your Goshen too. But you got to do something. Something. Not for you. You don't matter. Not you. Your grandchildren. Your nieces, your nephews, your cousins. That little baby, the one who's pregnant right now with her 5th child, and she's smoking weed with the baby in her belly. Yeah, that baby about to be born. Wasn't that baby's fault that her mom was trifling. That ain't the baby's fault. Why are we so willing to win over, like a wife can win over a husband with our conduct behavior, but we don't want to win over the rest of the world with it? Everybody wants me to be afraid of wolf peppers. No. Why would I? No. They better be afraid of me. And I don't mean me. I mean me. You know what I'm saying? That's what they better be afraid of. So no. I have to be that person for God. Why? Because I don't know many people that's willing to do it. So guess what? If you would get willing to do it, maybe I could step back. I could step back and let somebody else do it. You get what I'm saying? So I just hope you guys wake up. Wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to get started doing what it takes. Fortify your own home then. Or better yet, you better study the day of abomination, right? The abominable day, right? That's the day that's coming. Study it. You better find out when it was. I don't even know when it was. I'm going to just head out of town, right? Because I know what's going to happen on that day. I'm just going to get on up out of here. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know what day that was. I know that it's probably a full moon that day, like now. Now's a full moon. You get what I'm saying? I know that. But you better start studying it like your life depends on it, because you're going to have to kill the electricity to your house if you hope to have some type of survival that day. But you got to know which day to kill the electricity on your house. So you got to get studying on them feast days and the history to find out why they changed who changed what, when they changed it, who was lying. I did all that work. But now you got to do it if you're not going to head out of town. If you're not going to head out of town, and you need to fortify your home then. You need to get ready to get safe then, if that's the case. I can't do that again, guys. Let me tell y'all something. I'm back full-fledged, right? But y'all saw I went away for a while. I can't do that again. What is that? Being your entertainment. I can't do entertainment. Either we're working together on a goal, or I gotta go handle business because our lives depend on it. You know what I'm saying? I can't go through the persecution again. It hurts watching my people perish again. Like sitting there going, I can't do it. Again, I can't do it a second time. The reason why I say that is because we got a whole new group of viewers and people are connecting to me again. They're calling and speaking with me again. But if we all ain't on the same page, I can't do it again. It's just like everyone comes here and says, you see that person, you see that video. Don't get me wrong, I love that you guys do that. That's cool. But I'm trying to say this sweetly and delicately because I don't want you to think I'm saying it in a not too negative. It ain't even negative. It's more like in a saying, they ain't told you to run yet. So they're literally placating you. Any Bible preacher or anybody that claims to be giving prophecy, yes, Mike around the world, all of them, any of them that ain't telling you that there is a fire coming. They're going to burn up. That's the Bible. They ain't telling you what God said. You get what I'm saying? If they telling you anything other than them burning down the city, then they're placating. Yeah, people gonna get mad at me for that. I don't care. I really don't care. So I'm letting you know, let them be your entertainment. I'm trying to be your warrior. Real talk. Do you want to be a warrior with me? Do that. Let them be entertainment. Because it's time for you to warrior up. And remember what I said? God said, do it in a jovial kind of way. That's this passion. Like, let's go. Where we go? Come on. Yeah. But if you ain't got that in you, you ain't going to survive. He told us that. Flat out. It wasn't about age. No. It's about mindset. That's what he said. God himself said it wasn't about age. It's in here. It's like that movie, that was a good little movie too, about the Moana. Is it Moana? Where her grandmama was spunky. Was it Moana? I think it was Moana. I don't know. One of them cartoons, Eastern Pacific cartoons, the grandmama was spunky. Fun. Be that. Do it in a we win kind of way. Put it in your head, we already win. I just gotta, lay charge. Like, baby, grab that. I gotta teach you how to do this. Honey, come get this. Do it like that then. Like do it in the like with me and you, right? Like picture you're Superman, right? You're Superman and I'm Lois Lane, right? And remember how Lois Lane and Superman, so picture Lois Lane, they trying to fly, okay? But Lois is, oh my God, I'm so scared. And then you look at her, and literally picture this, that God then looks at you, tells you to smile, and y'all fly off together. If that gives you a better thought, because we do win, unless you don't want to. I'm talking about the wise. I ain't talking about everybody else. They don't win. He said they would be delivered unto the Chaldeans. But I am talking about the wise. It doesn't come near the wise. They only see it with their eyes. It don't befall near them. How do you become wise? Well, the Bible says you ask God for wisdom, He'll give you all of it. So I'm just saying, wake up, guys. Wake up. I love you. But this isn't entertainment. Now we're on to chapter 2. I get it. Remember I told y'all all the 3 years I've been having dreams, vivid dreams of being taken to a strategy room, a war room, or a meeting with God, or a meeting with Christ. I've had these dreams. Let's see, how many have I had so far? I had about 3 or 4 dreams of where I've been taken from where I was at, took into a meeting. I never remember what's being said in a meeting. I remember that one time I had the 26. The other time when the man, his eyes glowed. And I was so stuck. It was Christ. By the way, y'all wonder who that man was. His eyes were glowing and he was gorgeous. Oh, talk about gorgeous. To the point where I don't think I heard I remember thinking, how can I listen to the words that's coming out this man's mouth when he that fine? I remember thinking it. I ain't gonna lie. In the dream, I remember thinking, I don't know what he talking about or who he talking to or why he talking to him. He fine. I remember thinking that. And I remember waiting at the end of the thing, like, I just want to talk to him. I'm just going to wait and stand in line after this meeting and make sure. And out in front of my house, this is a dream, by the way. But this dream happened in front of my house. They had a meeting in my yard, you know what I mean? And literally, I waited to talk to the man. And I said, help me understand. And guess what happened, guys? A wave, a slow motion wave, frame from frame from frame, came above that house. He then took me, threw me upstairs, like threw me up in this window up here, and then I woke up. What I'm saying is, what's like if we weren't supposed to do something, what's with all the meetings, God? Like if we were just supposed to sit there and say, you know my heart, and say, Jesus died on the cross for me, so I'm fine. You know the book of Enoch says that Jesus is going to say, depart from me too, and they don't even say nothing about Jesus. And like they literally say the Son of Man. Like to where I wrote it down, I went, oh, he flat out said, depart from me. Depart from me. Here it go right here. It says, now they shall say unto themselves, our souls are full of unrighteous gain, but it does not prevent us from descending from the midst thereof into the burden of Sheol. And after that, their faces shall be filled with darkness and shame before the Son of Man, and they shall be driven from his presence. So how much do we love Jesus then? Because that's all I ever hear is Jesus the reason why we sitting still. But it's said 1,000 times that Jesus is literally going to have to say, Depart from me. I know you're not, you worker of iniquity. You know what the word iniquity means? Scoff, uh, wrongdoing, uh, unrighteousness. Uh, oh, y'all hear unrighteousness, and because of the spell, right? Y'all hear unrighteousness, but because of the spell, you think, oh, those sinners, unrighteousness. But y'all know the word, like the word unrighteousness means not right behavior, like not doing what's right. Right, but so many people see unrighteousness and they think the unrighteous ones or the righteous ones. How did they get there? How did they become that? By doing right behavior or not doing right behavior. What's right behavior? God said, I love obedience over sacrifice. That's what he said. So right behavior would be obedience. Wouldn't that be it? If that's the case, if he desires obedience over sacrifice, then wouldn't do what's right by God be obedient? And what he tell you to do? Know his feast days so you don't get killed that day. Run away to a booth so you don't get killed that day. I'm just trying to bring, I know it's a rough message, but if Trenton could give such a real message, I can too. Look, here we go. People always tell me about these entertainers, and it doesn't bother me because I watch them too, but I know how many of you really believe them, and that hurts. Like, not hurt me, that hurt my soul, because I'm literally going, because that person got a big name, they gonna lead you to hell for fun, so that they can stay monetized. Right now, you see, I'm gonna tell you the truth, even if it means you walk away from me. Real talk. So you get what I'm saying? Don't let them. I get it. You gotta watch out for these entertainers, myself included. Real talk. Make sure I'm studying it. Believe me, only as far as you'll study with me. Wake up. That's all I gotta say. Wake up, y'all. It's time to move. And soon y'all ain't gonna see me here no more. This is phase 2. All those meetings, remember, it went oil. Well, first it went group, oil, right? So I had a group, but I couldn't stay in the group. Flat out, I couldn't do that. That's too many people trying to influence you to listen to someone else. Couldn't do it. So then I had to go from there. But now I'm out of the group, but now where we're at now. No, then we went to living in the basement. Like, I feel like the Pursuit of Happiness movie, you know what I mean? Like, then it went to, living in the basement, right? Then it went to all these different aspects. Then it went to making smoothies so that, which I can't wait. Hold up. Which I can't wait. I got to start smoothieing again because, why I got a smoothie again? There we go. Let's get a good one. Something y'all can see. I got a smoothie again because now people done stop watching. I was getting 2,000 views when I was doing it, but God always told me that's what this smoothie was about. It was so I could fish for men. He said, you do something, you do this, sit there doing your little thing, happy. Yep, and then everybody watch it on that little one thing. And when they done watching it, right, they gonna go, I made you look. And then they're gonna start looking for your videos. That was fishing. Now we're on to the next phase of this, which is leaving. That's the next phase. Hope you're coming with me. You're welcome to. You're welcome. Okay. I'm gonna go. I've already gave y'all my phone number. Go back in the other videos. I'm not going through that. Go back the last video before this. I put my phone number, my contact information. If you want to sow into this ground, go there. It's faithful $ faithful wisdom is the cash app. But if you want to like have a more personal conversation with me, maybe you want to invest in the Goshen, feel free. Maybe you're sitting here going, I really don't got no place for my kids to go. Can I get in on that? Come on, contact me. My phone number is on that other video. Real talk. Because we're going with or without you. It's the truth. It's the truth. But you're welcome to come too. First you gotta wake up. First you gotta wake up. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna leave it there. So if you, God did say anyone that gives to this ministry, he promises like you gave to the least of them to bless you. That's what he told me. Like you went, like you gave to a Semite, right? Is the way he promises to bless you. So that's all I gotta say about that, right? But you gotta go to that other video, like if you want it in writing. I think I put it in the comments too, you know what I mean? Yes! Thank you, Penny. That's who's coming. When he get here, what he gonna do? Tell me, Penny, when he get here, what is he gonna do to us? Then it'll be worth it. Then I know somebody hear me. When he get here, what he gonna do? Gog and Magog is coming. When he get here, what he gonna do? Praise God. Thank you, Penny. Thank you, Penny. Thank you, Penny. Don't feel worthless then. Somebody listening. Thank you, Penny. When he get here, he gonna burn the place down. That's what he gonna do. And he gonna carry them off in the second ships of Tarshish, like he said. In the Bible. I didn't say this. The Bible says it. That's what he gonna do. How are we gonna be safe? Go to the booth. Go to the wilderness. Don't be waiting around to be taken to the wilderness. Run to the wilderness. The Bible tells you that. No, people are waiting on somebody to take them. Carrie Ann lying, everybody telling them ship's coming. About to have these people on some cruise ships, thinking they about to have all they could drink on their way to the wilderness. I mean, wouldn't he have done that back with Moses, if that's what he was going to do? No, they had to walk their butts up out of there. That's how they got up out of there. They had to walk. Man, that green look good. I ain't done this in a while. That's so pretty. It's so nice. I like that. Okay, I'm sorry, it's just glowing. I want to put another one. That's that childlikeness. That childlikeness will get to you to where you like, oh, I can't. Squirrel. But real talk, y'all. It's time to run. It's time to run. I don't want this color. I want a different color. Let's do a different color real quick. We got to do like let's go to silver. Ooh, pink. No, not that pink. I want to get the clothes. I mean, the one thing. Oh, blue. Okay, I'm sorry. That's why. Remember the oil I was supposed to give away to people? It's because I couldn't do the ostracization. I couldn't do who is going to persecute the saints? Other saints. I couldn't do it. So I went, I don't want to talk to y'all about this no more. It's hard, I'm just going to play. I'm going to put this stuff in my hair and play until the Lord take me to where he's going. Is what I decided I was going to do. I don't want to do that. No, I want to get ready for the children. But I also can't stand watching, I'm one of those people where that is so awesome. But I'm one of those people where Either we're doing this thing or we're not. You get what I'm saying? So it's just so hard to watch us sit complacent when there's this thing we got to do. You know what I mean? There's this whole thing we got to do. Yeah, I got to do some videos for the hair thing so I can get some more people to come back and watch these videos. Like, this is so fun. Like, I haven't sold one yet, by the way. I have not sold one smoothie. But that's okay. I don't care. I'm having fun playing with them. I'm going to use them all before they're done anyway. So it's all right. But but that's why. Oh, this one must be empty. Yeah, it's empty. But when they empty, this is what you do, just so you know how, like, when the hole becomes to where it doesn't grab your hair, you put the hook in, pull the hook down, and the hook will compress it. Ah! I broke the hook. But that's how I normally do it. I think that, I remember I made these, so I think I made that part too skinny. But that's how you normally. And then now it's compressed back to the way it was in the first place. Right? But I can't put pink on now because it's all over my hands. But yeah, I'm gonna get to the land and I'm gonna perfect this. I'm gonna have some fun out there. I don't know how to garden. Ask Faithful. Me and Faithful tried to garden. It didn't go too good. So there's something inside of you that we need out there to know that you're needed when you do finally wake up. Okay? Well, you're needed when you do finally wake up. And like I said, if it ain't about you, like, you know, don't, it ain't about you. It's about the leaser than you. Don't you want Jesus to say, come on in? You get what I'm saying? He never said it was about the better than you, right? No, it's not about the better than you. It's not about the richer than you. It's not about the bigger than you. It's not about you. It's about the least of them. That's why. Oh. And I found a place here in the, I think it was the Book of Enoch, one of them, where it talked about those foundations and how they're set. They know that foundations sanction a behavior. That's why they, and God told me, that's the reason why he told me don't put no price on nothing. He said, do like them and make it a donation kind of thing. Just donate, because that is your, he said, that's how he knows the heart. That's the sanctioning of it all. You get what I'm saying? Which that's proven in them passing their children into the fire of Molech, that the body is a sacrifice, that the body is what the sacrifice, but they stopped doing that and they went to paper. So that paper is the sacrifice. It is. Or the body. Because he told me that too. I told y'all, go read it. It's all there. It's all there. But when you get here, if you ain't sanctified, it says it in the Book of Enoch too. It says that when he get, oh, look, the career. Look. Oh. And they shall say, would that we had rest. Like I would if I had rest. That's what it says. And they shall say, would that we had rest to glorify and give thanks and confess our sins before his glory. And now we long for a little rest, but find it not. We follow hard upon and obtain it not. And light has vanished from before us, and darkness is in our dwelling place forever and ever. For we have not believed him, nor glorified the name of the Lord of spirits, nor glorified our own Lord. Wow, that's deep. It does say the Lord of spirits, and then it says our own Lord, like we ain't did neither. But our hope was, listen to it, but our hope was in the scepter of our kingdom. America would never let that happen, right? They're just gonna bomb someone. It might not be me. It'll be okay. We'll be all right. It's just for their hope was in the scepter of our kingdom and in our glory. And in the day of our suffering and tribulation, look what it says. He saves us not. He saves us not. He saves us not. And we find no respite for confession. That our Lord is true, in all his works and his judgments and his justice, and his judgments have no respect of persons. His judgments have no respect of persons. And we pass away from before his face on account of our works or lack thereof, guys. I really want y'all to know this Bible says this, for lack of knowledge, my people shall perish. It says, for they became fat and they sat still. They became safe thinking that the scepter is going to help. It says it 1 billion times. So if you read this Bible, I know you know it said 1 billion times. And all our sins are reckoned up in righteousness. And all our sins are reckoned up in righteousness. Now they shall say unto themselves, our souls are full of unrighteous gain, but it does not prevent us from descending from the midst thereof into the burden of Sheol. I know, dogs. I'm coming. I hear my dogs. Y'all gotta go read this for yourself, and I hope this was enough to wake you up so that you say it, that you'll stop being entertained and become a warrior. Real talk, it's time to warrior up. Your kids need you. All right, I love you guys, and sorry for the hard talk, but what's the point of having, like when Faithful showed me we got hope? What's the point of having hope if no one would take the opportunity? You get what I'm saying? It's like literally like, I got hope I won't die, but you're sitting up under an asteroid. Move over. Like that, you know? So it's hard watching it about to happen like that. I want to jerk y'all into saying, wake up! There's hope. You just got to make a move. Never thought you'd see the Goshen come before your face like that. I never thought. I mean, no, I did. But I never, like to be sitting here saying the things that God showed me was going to have to say. Yeah, no, I ain't think the Goshen was going to come out like that. Well, one day you would be listening to someone go, wake up. There's a real place. I ain't trying to entertain you. There's a real place. Wake up. If you ain't got nowhere to go, figure out where you going to go. If you don't want to come go with us, fine. Figure something out for those people around you. And don't you dare say that Jesus loved me and I've been good to Jesus. Well, if you ain't been good to the least of these, that's what Jesus himself says, then you ain't been good to none of them. Real talk. You don't care about the least of your family? Your family, not my family. My family, good. If you don't care about the least, the one they call that trifling hooker, you don't care about her? What did you do? What you do for God? Real talk. And, you know, I sound probably like no, I don't sound like that to my family, because I've been telling my family forever, and then everybody didn't want to talk to me no more, and so I just said, I'm just going to tell it on here, and I've been telling it on here and saying, look, I'm doing my part for the world. How about y'all pitch in to help for the family? Shoot. So, no, I was about to say, I probably look like a hypocrite because I'm isolated right now. Nope. It can't be the truth because I told my whole family, your family, on Facebook, in their face, like every which way I could, was ignored for 3 years straight. So no, okay, that was the devil trying to lie to me and say, you hypocrite, you ain't with your own auntie. I tried. I did. I tried. I tried. She couldn't say I didn't. Real talk. She even lied to me about getting shot. First she said she ain't get the shot when she was listening to me talk. Then it came out later on where somebody else said it. And then I went, this thing that serious where your old folks lied to you because of it. That's interesting. You know what I mean? There's a picture when you the little one and somebody, your great one, like go, no, I ain't getting that daggone shot. And then when the other people, somebody else around, and they took them to get the shot, they can't lie about it then. You get what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm just saying, who is my mother and who is my father? Everybody that love God. So hopefully you will meet me there, or just do something. Wake up, guys. We gotta get ready. That's all I'm saying. All right, I love you. I'll talk to y'all soon.